Dinosaur Forest, and the Triceratops herd just protected their baby from velociraptors.
Now the big question.
You were doing all this and you were getting paid zero?
I made my first million. That's how I stole bananas.
Did you ever believe that this will make you money?
I was cleaning toilets. From that depression, I started getting into personal development and dating advice. It was like, oh yeah, you made your first million, by the way. Congrats. I honestly believe 2025 will make it to $1 million a month.
Welcome to this episode. Today we have Max, a self-made entrepreneur whose journey from rock bottom to record-breaking success will leave you inspired. From surviving on stolen bananas to building a global brand, Max turned personal struggles into multi-million-dollar success.
Along the way, he's broken records, revolutionized online coaching, and mastered cutting-edge AI and tech to stay ahead. Get ready for an inspiring journey of resilience, innovation, and triumph.
I'm super excited. I have today on the third episode of our podcast, my brother Xenios, and of course, a super special guest, Max Tornow.
Hell yeah.
Where are you, my friend, now?
I'm in the internet right now. Well, theoretically, I'm in a dinosaur forest, and the Triceratops herd just protected their baby from velociraptors.
That's interesting. Is it the first time you're trying this
yeah.
Vision Pro?
Yeah, first time. I'm not sure how to X out of it anymore now. Continue and immersive, let's see. Oh, I think it's, okay, let's go back. It is such an intuitive...
Tell us about your experience.
It's so sick because, so I thought the way you're clicking on icons is you have to be stupid like this. But in reality, it's so intuitive. You just look at it and then you do this. Now I'm going to look at some space.
So you don't see me now, right? I'm here.
I see you guys a little transparently, but then I can watch videos now. Dune, wow. I can watch Dune Prophecy.
While you're on the podcast, while we don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I'm just going to watch a movie while talking. It's oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the podcast today. Okay.
That is so sick. There's Alien. I can watch Alien, man. Can I watch Alien Romulus already? That was just in the movies.
Yes,
anything.
actually, yeah.
I can buy it for $20. No way.
Yeah, just saying this. It's fun.
Yeah. No, this is sick. This is really sick. I will take it off now though because.
So are you gonna buy it?
I think
yeah,
so.
That's the question. Are you gonna buy it?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, it's super cool, especially for traveling, like you said. And
welcome to the real world.
Wow, so lame to be in the real world. But dude, have you tried this on a flight and stuff like that?
I tried it everywhere.
Bruh.
In the airplane, you just don't feel that you're in a flight anymore. I use it for two reasons. Number one is definitely the external displays with the ultra wide. Especially is the best feature. They released it 3 weeks ago, so it's new, the ultra wide. Imagine that you work and you have 6 full windows open on a big display. So the multitasking is crazy. But not only that, you can also have other windows on top of the wide screen. I can have Slack, I can have my calendar, I can join Zoom meetings.
Sick.
By the way, the Zoom meetings is the best. You will be thinking, but how do they see you? Yeah. So there are internal cameras that they have a 3D expression of your face and it's real. Yeah, I should have shown you that also. But,
yeah.
So
do you wear it every day actually?
I use it every day.
Wow.
Every day.
No.
Yeah.
And it has the lenses on it, so you just...
Yeah, I have the lenses
really
in my case. But the second reason is if you're traveling. Imagine that you don't need to travel with external display anymore. You just have this, and it's a small device.
Yeah,
the value is very big.
Sometimes he sends me videos, recording his screen. Here I have my calendar. Here I have my emails. Here I have my Slack. I can watch everything. I watch all the clients, everything. I monitor. It's like Big Brother.
Because I tried, I got the PlayStation VR 10 years ago, and it sucked. It was so clunky and stupid. It had 3 cables, and then you needed I had to wear contact lenses underneath. So I was like, I want to play some video games. Ooh, let me put contact lenses in. Nah, I wasn't gonna do that. So I used it 2 times my whole life. This is pretty next level. Like I said, like look, this right now, yeah, you got the external battery. Like,
Yeah.
again, like if they keep making them, like in 5 years from now, it's much smaller, much lighter, much better. You don't have an external battery, it's just sick. But like I said, like they're discontinuing them, apparently.
Look, I agree with you. I mean, the biggest complaint is definitely the battery. Imagine if this device was without the battery.
Yeah.
And if it was a bit lighter.
Yeah.
Honestly, these two.
Or if you
Or
could-
imagine it was in your glasses.
Yeah, that would
Or
be...
you could connect it on your laptop, you know, instead of the battery, just
Yeah.
put it on the laptop.
Actually, they're thinking
Oh.
to do that
Yeah.
right now. In order to
Yeah,
make the...
so USB-C, pop it in, done. Mhm.
to make the device smaller, because iPhone already has a lot of power, like, and now I think they are trying to release something like this, but I don't know, honestly. It's a crazy device.
I think they're giving up. They're discontinuing it. That's what I read yesterday.
I'm sure you can find one if you go to the Apple Store, but obviously, you know, this product is not in every country in the world.
Yeah,
It started from USA.
that's right.
In my case, I bought it from USA. And I shipped it from USA to to Cyprus. It was a bit of a hassle because I had to also pay VAT on top, crazy delivery fees. They also couldn't sell it to me directly, so a person had to go there. Yeah, it was really...
How did you just ask a friend in the States to buy it and then ship it for you? or
No,
what?
I found one company, which I don't remember the name, that they were actually doing money to do this for people.
Oh.
And even with the prescription lenses, in order, let's say me and you, we have prescription lenses glasses. They needed a proof from a US doctor that you have this prescription, basically.
So how did you get that?
I had a client of mine that
had
was,
the same
optician. And basically he wrote it for me.
Oh,
and,
okay.
And thankfully I had official prescription when I was from US, and like I was able to buy it. It was a bit of a hassle, but to be honest with you, as soon as I got it, I was like, holy fuck, I'm maybe the only person in Cyprus that has a device like this.
You were the only
Maybe I'm the only person. I don't know
Probably.
anyone else.
Probably,
How long
yeah.
you have it for?
I bought it when it was released, actually.
When? Like 6+ months? When?
February this year it was released. Yeah.
I know you had it in before May, because I remember I went to an event and I was asking you if you could take it. Yeah, you had it maybe in Easter, like maybe April or something like that.
Yeah. Man, since I brought it here, I in purpose, I put it on sale. Okay, for a crazy amount of money, obviously. And I had people call me that they wanted to rent it for me just for one day. And there was a company, if you remember, that they wanted 1 hour to get it. And I told them, okay, if you want this for 1 hour, it's 1,000 euros just for 1 hour. But I have to be there because honestly, I don't trust to give this device to someone just like that.
Yeah.
And then they told me, no, it's too much, like 1,000 euros 1 hour. And I'm like, listen, bro, I'm the only one who has something like this. If you want a cool advertisement, here it is.
Supply and demand, man.
But yeah, man, Max Tornow in the podcast. So
In the house.
Who are you? Honestly, I used to know you from many years ago. Max is one of the very few people which I know who is self-made, by the way. It's not like you're coming from a rich family or anything. You are fully self-made.
Rich in
I
love.
remember your story.
I come from a family rich in love.
That's the best thing.
At
man.
least that.
Much better.
So Max started, first of all, his dream, for anyone who doesn't know, was to become like a rock star, like a professional rock star player.
Professional rock star, basically, yeah.
And obviously that didn't happen, but I know that your guitar skills are really crazy.
Yeah, not anymore, not so much anymore. I haven't played in a while. It's funny because I played for every day for many, many years, and then I stopped. And then I got an injury. I had tendonitis in both arms. And from that, I became really depressed back then. And from there, I started kind of working on myself. I was in the beginning of my 20s. And, I really didn't understand why I was depressed. My stupid 20-year-old brain wasn't like, I'm deprived of the only purpose I've ever had in my life, and therefore I have no longer direction in my life, and therefore I'm depressed. No, my head was like, I'm depressed because I don't have a girlfriend, like, if I have a girlfriend, everything would fix it. But I was shy and really awkward, socially really awkward, so I had to learn that. And I read books, like how to pick up girls, and then read books on body language, and I started applying this stuff. And then I started writing about it. There was this forum, like back in the days when forums were still a thing.
So the forum that you used to be was the RSD forum?
No, it was a German forum. It was a German-speaking forum. I'm not sure if it still exists. And I would write on there like every day. Like today I talked to a girl in the metro. She found it weird that I like Metallica, you know? And then I had the second biggest thread in that forum because I just posted all the time. And then I started getting really crazy results. And people started asking me, do you do coaching? And I was like, yes, I do. I didn't, but I said it. And they're like, how much is it? I'm like, $150 a day? I can't remember if it was 130 or 150, something like that. And they're like, oh my God, yeah, let's do it. Can we meet on Saturday? And in my head, that was so much money as a student. You know, I'm like, $150 in a day? Are you kidding me? So I started getting clients like that. And then that was like my first business. And then I started working with RSD.
So wait a minute, the first money that you ever made in your life was this?
No, I had jobs before.
What type of jobs?
I was a gardener one summer. So I just went to I went to high school.
Age?
At age 17, I think I was a gardener in the summer, like in the summer jobs. Then at 18, I was in the army for 6 months.
You were paid,
mandatory,
right?
You got like $200 a month or something.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Like you're like, damn it, it's nothing. But you got free food at least. And then I went to university and I was working as a resident assistant for exchange students, like always small shit jobs like that. Dude, I worked as a tutor for kids for Latin and English. That was like $25 an hour, which was really good money for me. Dude, I was a cleaner. Like I would clean like a cleaning lady, cleaning boy kind of. I'd have all kinds of shit jobs, like anything.
Wow.
I was never. I'm really proud of that. I was never too good for jobs. In the army, I was cleaning toilets. That was literally my job. Like like everybody, because we were a functional corps, we were not a fighting corps. So the fighting corps, they would just train all day and they would just get balked physically.
How long did you do the army?
Just 6 months.
6 months.
Yes, but we were functional, which means we had to do stuff. And I had two jobs. Like one was like in the morning, and then the other one was like during the day. And during the day, I was in the office. I was a writer, so I was working with the because we were the headquarters for the helicopters in Austria. Search and rescue helicopters. So I was in the office there because my whole corps was like 60 people, and there was like 3 dudes that had high school education. The rest did not even have a high school education. It was 57 guys. They could barely write. They could barely speak in German, which my mother language in Austria is German.
So what happened after the army?
And then after the army, I signed up for university, wanted to become a professional musician, studied every day, played guitar every day, and that's how I got tendonitis. And that's from that depression I started getting into personal development and dating advice, and then that became my first job. And, fast forward, I started working with Revolutionize, the biggest dating company in the world.
How did RSD found you? Like they saw the forum?
No, yeah. So I did that in the forums, and then I started watching all the RSD stuff. And then they were all like, it. They were like, take action every day, give value. So I'm like, okay, good value. So, and in my head, I'm like, my dream job was to be a coach like them. Because the coaches from RSD, they would travel the world. Literally, they would go on a world tour. They would hold speeches in every city around the world. And then they would go out and have clients in person, right? Kind of like Hitch.
So let me ask you something. You were in university to study music, right?
Yes. Then I got tendonitis, and then
after tendonitis, you had to quit. Like, what was that? That's the transitioning part, which I didn't understand.
Okay. Yeah, they were like, the doctors were like, you cannot play guitar anymore. This is it, man. Like, forget about it.
And did you pay the university? Like, how did that happen?
So I was studying musicology, which is the theory. And as I was studying that, I was practicing to get into the conservatory, which would be the actual playing. And then just before I got in there, just before the exam, I think 6 months or 8 months before, I got tendonitis. And then the doctors told me I cannot play anymore. And then I'm like, okay, what else can I do? And then I said, okay, the other thing that I'm good at is languages. And that's how I switched into Latin and English to become a high school professor for Latin and English. But then at the same time, I started getting really into personal development and dating advice. And then from there, I started making money. And then I'm like, there's all these RSD guys. They're traveling around the world. High school teacher for Latin and English. I want to make fucking millions of dollars and travel around the world and inspire people, kind of like a rock star, right? You're on tour, you're inspiring people, you can be yourself, you can express yourself, and you make good money. So that was then my goal, and RSD was all about action taking and giving value. So they had then their own forum, and in that forum they would always have these little mini jobs, always unpaid volunteer shit. Like, we need someone that handles our Twitter. We need a forum moderator. And then also when they would come to Vienna, they would always need like a local guy that would kind of like help the instructor, assist him, knows where to go, shit like that. So I said yes to everything. Dude, at some point I had like 6 jobs within RSD, all unpaid. Like moderator for forums, posting on Twitter.
You were doing all this and you were getting paid zero?
Yeah,
Literally, you had zero
bro.
income.
No,
How
fucking
did you
income.
live? Like, your parents helped you?
So first of all, I was still a full-time student on the side. So in Austria, you get paid to be a student depending on how poor your family is. So I got $800 a month from the state. Yeah,
It's good, man.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really, for me, I'm like, I'm rich, bro. And $800 a month.
Where did you live?
I was sharing a flat with 3 other guys.
With 3 other
Yeah,
guys?
ground level flat. I would sit at home, watch my videos on my computer, and there was like people walking on the street outside through the window. Plus, of course, I did this coaching thingy, which made me a couple $100 at first. And then I think at the peak, it started making me $2,000-3,000 a month, which was, again, insane money for me. And then RSD said, hey, why don't you come to Miami to work for free for us for 6 months? And you have to pay your own flights, and you have to buy your own food, but you can crash on the couch. And I said, okay, let's do it.
But that was after the jobs that you were doing remotely for them, as I understand.
Yeah, exactly. So they were like, okay, we need an assistant that assists Tyler and that knows how to do videos. And while I was doing all these random free jobs for RSD, I also started making my own videos for YouTube. And that was way before iPhones. Nowadays, you're like 4K, let's go. Like, I had to buy a Sony Handycam for $190. It could only record for 20 minutes at a time before the battery died. And with that, I made my own videos. So I would do meetings, free meetings where people could come, like a seminar. And I would record them I would record the first 20 minutes of them on my fucking camera. First meeting, 3 people showed up. I said, okay, fucking 3 people. That's amazing, man. Let's go. I hit the 3 dudes I can help. And then I said, okay, hey, next time, if you guys thought that was valuable, I'll do it again in 2 weeks. Just bring a friend. So next time I had 9 people, right? Then I'm like, I'll do this shit again. Holy shit, I got a whole fucking 9 people.
This was unpaid, right?
This was still unpaid. And then the third one was 30 people. And I had to pay, dude, I rented that seminar room at like a hostel near to the train station in Vienna. And that was $45 for an afternoon. And then I was like, it's not too bad. And then when 30 people came, one guy had an idea. He's like, hey, why don't you pass a hat around and people can throw money in it, right? And I'm like, yeah, cool. And we had a bowl here or something like that. So people put money in it. Some guys put €2 in it, some guys 20.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I just made a profit. Like, I can pay for the room, plus I have like 30, 40 euros extra. So I took these 30, 40 euros, and then for the next one that I did 2 weeks later, I used that money to buy like snacks and water and protein shakes.
To look more professional.
I had fucking protein powder in the back so people could make a protein shake with them. And then we had 90 people show up. It was like 95 or 96. And the room only holds 50 people. So on my video, you can see that. Maybe you can like dig up the old fucking video. You could literally see the room, and it was like people sitting on the floor, standing on the wall. And I'm like, with my shitty 20-minute camera, I'm like, I'm going to record my speech. I've got to make sure it's really good in the first 20 minutes, you know? So I had that on my random ass YouTube channel back then. And then while I did all this free work for RSD, they were like, we needed some assistant dude that is motivated, that works hard, that loves us, and that is good with video.
And his name is Max.
Exactly. And then one guy was like, I know this dude, this crazy Austrian, he loves us. He does like all these jobs for free. He loves us. And he does really awesome videos too. Like, check it out. And then I had like compilations of me going out and then with the public speaking in there. And then I remember Nick told me then later, Nick, the CEO, he saw that and he said, if we can make our own instructors look like this guy,
Game over.
that's gonna be amazing. So they called me then, and they're like, yo, can you come to Miami? Everything unpaid. Gotta pay your own flights. But don't worry, you can crash on the couch, which, by the way, was not true. I had to sleep on the floor because the couch was occupied by like another guy.
How many weeks or months?
I think the first one was 3 weeks in Miami.
For real? You were sleeping on the floor?
Yeah.
It's a real story.
Yeah, and I slept under the fucking air condition. So, and I always turn it off, and then some guy came and was like, bro, you turned my fucking air conditioner off. It's hot in my room. Fuck you. Turn it back on. So then I just slept with like 2 sweaters on, my long pants on the floor.
Question before you continue, because you're getting there.
Yeah.
You said you had 3 people on the first one. How did you find these first 3 people?
I was posting in the forum.
In the forum,
I'm
yeah.
like, hey guys, you watched my, like, if you like it, like, if anyone here is in Vienna, I'll be doing a free speech about, I can't remember what it was, whatever, how to pick up girls or how to be confident. So from
the forum, and then you did the videos, and then more people look at the videos.
That was, I think it was more like word of mouth for the live trainings.
Okay.
It was more like word of mouth and the forum. And then I started making videos as well. And I posted the videos on the RSD forums. So they got me some traction there as well.
He's trying to understand the logistics.
I know.
Of course. I'm trying to figure it out, you know?
Yeah. That's how I did it. And then, and then I calculated just before I came to Miami, I'm like, okay, how much money will I need, And I said, probably $20 for food per day, because I knew America was more expensive for food. So I said $20 for food, plus, if I'm assisting on their programs, I probably need money to get into the clubs as well, to buy the entrance for the clubs. So overall, I said, I probably need a couple thousand. So I went to my parents, asked them for money. I got money from my bank. I had a student account.
You got a loan?
I had a student account, but because I'm in a fucking village and I know the guy used to go to school with me, he's like, oh yeah, well, if you can put the money back in like after 2 months, yeah, we can do that. Of course, I didn't put any fucking money back in after years. This guy called me like every week. He said, hey, technically speaking, I wasn't allowed to give you that. We kind of need you to cover. And I'm like, oh, you'll get it next week. You get it. Meanwhile, me like working for free in fucking Miami, far away, no money coming in anytime,
I'm curious. When you said to your parents that you need money to go to Miami for RSD, what did your dad say, for example?
Oh, it was so dumb. It was so I came home to my parents' place from Vienna, right? It's about a 3-hour train ride. And I come in and they're like, oh, it's such a nice surprise. How's university going? I was really good at university. I was like the academic kid. And I'm like, university? Oh, yeah, I quit. Anyways, I need $5,000 to go work for some guy on the internet. And they're like, what? And they were like, oh, good joke, Max. They literally thought I was kidding. And then I'm like, okay, I got to sit down and I got to explain to you guys what happened to me over the last years. Because they had no idea. Right? They just thought I grew up and became more confident. I'm like, no. I was depressed, and then I learned how to talk to girls because I wanted a girlfriend, and then I started watching these videos, and it was so foreign for them. That was like 2012, 11, 12. They were like, what do you mean? You on the internet, you learn how to pick up girls? I'm like, yeah, there's this thing called YouTube. Like, that's how much I had to backtrack. And on YouTube, there's this guy, and then I thought it was a good idea to show them videos of Tyler, Owen Cook. And you know how he is. The crazy beard, ginger guy, fat, like screaming. And like, this guy, and they're like, and it's like some video where he's like, and they're like, that's the guy you want to work for free? Like, this is a scam. What the fuck are you doing, And my mom, she was like, you know what, I can't do this. Like, you guys figure that out. And then my dad, I think I told you guys that last time. My dad then pulled me aside. We went to my room and he's like, okay, son, so look, this sounds like a really stupid idea. Like, of course it's not going to work. What the fuck, are you going to fly to America, man? As an Austrian, this is the land of far away, that you're going to work there for free. I don't think this is a good idea.
But here's the money.
But every idea that you've had so far, I've seen you, I'm your father, you've stuck to it, you've plowed through and you did it. So here's 5,000 euros.
Ooh, first close.
Yeah.
But wait a second. Now the big question. When did you make your first dollar from RSD?
Yeah, that took a while. So I did 6 months unpaid. And then usually assistantships are just 6 months unpaid. So I'm getting more and more in debt. I have zero money for food at that point. I go to the grocery store to steal bananas. It was one of the first grocery stores in LA. So we were in Miami for 3 or 4 weeks, and then Owen was like, "Oh, you should come to me to LA. You should live at my place, aka his girlfriend's place." And then, but the cool thing was they had a spare room that was for all the instructors, and when there was no instructor there, nobody higher than me, then I could sleep there. So I got a fucking bed in my own room, which was insane. I was so happy. And then there was the first kind of grocery stores that had the self-checkout. You remember how there was no self-checkout a couple of years ago? It was one of the first grocery stores that had self-checkouts. So I would go there and I would buy bananas.
Which year was that, by the way?
2013, I think. I think that was 2013. So I would go get bananas, and the thing was like the self-checkout didn't understand bananas, so you had to press the button for bananas, and then it would ask you how many. And I had like a whole pack, like 20 bananas, and I'm just like, two bananas, you know? So I would pay like €2, $2, and then I had the whole thing of bananas. That's how I stole bananas. My shoes had holes in them. I was constantly sick, malnourished, underslept, jet lagged all the time as we'd fly throughout the States. And then I did that for 6 months. And then
they were paying for your tickets to fly?
Yeah, then they started paying for the tickets, yeah. And again, like I could crash on the floors and shit like that when we would travel somewhere. I would usually be at a volunteer's place.
Did those guys back in the days, they used to make money or no?
Yeah, they made pretty fucking good money, I think.
Back
I don't
in
think they made
2013, right?
Yeah, I don't think they made 8 figures, but that was just off the launch of Julian's Pimp. Remember his Pimp program? And that was like the record-breaking program back then. My first digital program later broke that record and then became the best.
The Natural, yeah?
Yeah, the Natural became the best-selling thing, I think, ever. I'm not sure if any after that cracked it, but yeah, they had money, but you know, of course, they were like, well, we got some fucking 20-year-old dude here, 23-year-old dude. Why would we pay him? He does it anyways for free. I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at all.
The marketing that you guys used to do in 2015 for the Natural, I think 2015, right?
It's 16 it dropped, but we started marketing in 15, yeah.
Honestly, it was insane.
Yeah.
And back then, like there wasn't like many people to get ideas about marketing. It was just like you guys trying to figure out what can work.
Yeah, literally.
I think that was also back then when Tai Lopez came up with the Here in My Garage advertisement.
I shot one of his first videos. He had 1,000 subscribers when I met him. 1,000 subscribers. And it was actually Owen who kept telling him, he's like, Tai, you should do YouTube. Tai was just some dude. You should do YouTube. So Owen, I was then his assistant, and he was like, tomorrow we're gonna go drive up to Tai Lopez's place. My buddy Tai Lopez. We're gonna shoot some videos, and I had a fucking bus to go to Las Vegas the next day. They didn't even give me fucking flights. Whenever it was avoidable, they would give me a bus. So my bus was like at 8 a.m. and I was going to bed early, all nice. I'm lying in bed at like 10 p.m. Owen calls me. He's like, "Hey, what are you up to?" And I'm like, "I'm sleeping." All right. Yeah, cool. Can you shoot a video with me and Tai? I'm like, sure. I mean, it's my fucking job. He's like, okay.
So he's talking, by the way.
Yeah.
How Owen talks.
So we would drive up so I get out of bed, get dressed, drive up to Tai Lopez. He said, just real quick, he said, you know. We started shooting at like 10:30 or something like that. And I swear to God, and him, Owen, and Tai, both the biggest ramblers in the world, they wouldn't stop talking. I'm sitting behind the camera. I had a chair. Sitting behind the camera, and they're talking, and then the sun goes up. It's fucking 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm like passing out in between, like every couple of minutes. I'm like, they're still talking. Check the camera. Okay, good. They're still talking. The headphones in to check the audio. And they would it was like an 8-hour video. Never got released, of course. Typical RSD, never gave a shit to release it. And then I had to make them stop. I'm like, guys, sorry. I have a bus now to Vegas. And Owen was like, oh, you have a bus? Okay, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, and then I went straight from there to the fucking bus. If you go to my Instagram, my personal one, Max_Tornow, you scroll far away down. I think it's literally like on the first line or something like that. Oh, nice. Guys making money. That's always nice. So I got the team WhatsApp thing. If you go down like amongst my first 30 posts, there's a post of me being in the bus to fucking Vegas, and I'm like super tired and dead. That was that.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And dude, I used that knowledge then to just jump ahead many, many years. I used all that marketing knowledge from making my first million, from literally building a cult following to then launch my business consulting, which is what I'm doing now since 2019. I mean,
who was doing the marketing back then with RSD?
Us. Everybody thought we had like a marketing team. No, dude, they had nothing. I was like, I want to make a digital product. They're like, cool, bro. Good luck.
The funnel for The Natural, I think it was a video series. That's how it was.
Yeah.
And every week maybe you were releasing, but
no, it was. Well, I was doing weekly videos on YouTube anyways, and I'm like, because I saw the launches of everybody else, and the launches were like nothing, and then they had launch week, which was 5 videos, Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday would be the launch video.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was everybody's launch, and I'm like, this is kind of dumb. Like, there's no you guys don't want to build up hype. So I said, okay, I'm going to make a program and I'll launch it next year, but I will start promoting it now already. And I would just make weekly YouTube videos, just giving value.
Was it after The Natural?
No, that was before that. That was a process of promoting The Natural. So I would just make YouTube videos once a week. And then at the end of the YouTube video, I would put that trailer. You remember I had this trailer where I'm running through the forest and shit. And I'm like, I've never been a guy that was good with girls. You know, like this emotional thing and footage of me and shit like that.
Getting goosebumps.
Yeah, I had that at the end of every fucking video. It was to a point where, I mean, that was back then when it didn't matter with watch rates on YouTube, you know? It doesn't matter if you have a 3-minute trailer after a 10-minute video. Nobody gave a shit. So people would literally memorize those trailers per heart because they already watched the fucking trailer so many times because it was at the end of every video.
You used to do the filming and the editing?
Everything.
So everything I was watching on the channel?
All edited, sometimes by assistant.
Even the scripts?
It's all me. I mean, not the tech part of it.
Okay.
And the VSL I wrote together with Mikhail Kuznetsov, good buddy of mine. He worked with Tai Lopez, actually. He was on my podcast many times. And then, but the launch videos, all the hype, how the trailers look like, that was from A to Z all me. Right. I had help. I had people that gave me their opinion, but that was it.
Insane. Back in the days to do something like this.
No copywriting, nothing, man.
Because look, back in the days there was also not other people to get ideas from. It's like you trying to figure out what works.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be.
That's the photo, man. April 2nd in 2014. Me on the fucking bus to Vegas from LA.
29 likes.
Show them the camera.
29 likes, man. And one comment, what does the comment say? Eminem. So that just 555 weeks ago, bro. Fuck. Off to Las Vegas, catching solid 4 hours of sleep while the desert passes by.
Did you ever believe that this will make you big money?
No,
like you just used to do it and whatever happens?
Bro, when I made my first million, it was just...
forget about your first million. Forget about that. Listen, I was a customer of The Natural. Okay? So right now you are talking to a customer because I've seen everything. I've seen from the YouTube videos.
Yeah.
I've seen the funnel, the crazy hype that every video series you are doing. And then boom, the price drop. I mean, obviously even me, to buy, I think it was 3 levels of pricing, I think.
Yeah, it was $497, $697, and $897, I think.
Yeah, and I bought the cheapest one, the $497.
Nice.
Yeah, but I didn't have money back then. Imagine, I was like, for me, it was like very big money to spend 500 euros.
So it was for me, man.
But I'm telling you something, it was worth it. It was one of the best money I ever spent in my life.
You still have access to it, you know, if you think about it.
No, I don't think so.
Dude, yeah. I mean, we didn't take away access from anyone that bought it. So if you still have your logins,
then domain is down.
The login domain you can still get.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Really? The login domain is still there. Of course, because people fucking bought it and think it's yours. I know for a fact because I still give logins to some of my buddies.
Wow. Commitment.
Yeah, some whatever. I work with.
Wait a second. I have a question now.
Wait a minute. What did you feel when you launched and you started to see the orders coming?
It was unreal. It was unreal. The launch was so crazy. So I had everything prepared so fucking perfectly. I had all the launch videos except for the last one, which was the VSL.
Yeah.
The fucking VSL. I kept bugging because Mikhail was like, you have to do it with me. because I'll make it convert better. And all the launch videos I've just done myself, except for the VSL. And I kept bugging him. And we were in Hawaii before that running programs. And we were there for 10 days. So we're like, first day, we're like, we're here for 10 days. We'll do it tomorrow. Second day, we're here for 10 days. We'll do it tomorrow. And then it's like the 10th fucking day. My flight back to LA was in like 6 hours. It's night. And we're like, we fucking gotta knock this shit out. We gotta fucking film this. I didn't have a fucking teleprompter. It was Mikhail, 2 camera guys, and me at fucking midnight.
Yes, I remember that
in
video.
Hawaii,
It was
on Honolulu. Dark. Yeah, it was dark as fuck. I was strung out, jet-lagged, hungry, tired, stressed, depressed. I was everything. I didn't even... Nowadays, I pull up a fucking teleprompter. I read that shit off. I'm going to shoot 4 VSLs tomorrow, in fact. We got a team that writes the shit for me. I'll just give my input. That's it. Back then, it was fucking Mikhail holding an iPad, and I would read a paragraph, memorize it, speak it into the camera, read the next paragraph, speak it into the fucking camera. And it's a VSL. It was long. It was like a 30, 45-minute video or some shit. Dude, and then we were like running around Honolulu trying to find a fucking spot that looks good where we can shoot. We finally find a spot. There's some fucking drunk guys being loud. You can't do it anymore. You go to a different spot. We finally found the spot. Dude, I swear. You can, if the VSL still is somewhere, I don't know. You can see there was one shot that we started in, and all of a sudden there's a second shot. Why? Because 10 minutes in, the fucking sprinklers were starting, and I was starting getting fucking water over me. And I'm like, okay, we got to go to another place. Flight leaves soon. So crazy shit. We finally shoot it, get it done. I tell my video guy, sorry, dude, you got to fucking edit this all night. Obviously, you got to edit it on the plane back to LA. We fly to LA. Video is done. It's rendering out. We're in the shittiest fucking hotel I've ever seen with like cockroaches everywhere, mold. And the fucking upload speed was so slow. I'm like, bro, you know, we had the countdown on the page and shit like that. And I'm like, dude, we have like 12 hours or something like that for a launch. But the upload says it's 36 hours until it's done.
And then it's the rendering, the processing of YouTube.
Yeah. And I'm like, what am I going to do? So I called my buddy, Willie Beck. Love that guy. I owe him everything. He's a dating coach himself. I had met him. I used to watch his videos. Then I met him. Whole other funny story. I met him in LA once. I was talking to these girls in LA. We were filming. And then all of a sudden this guy comes in. Okay, I know I'm jumping back and forth, but this is too good of a story for me not to tell. I'm talking to these girls. And that was a couple months before that. And I was already kind of known. So I would have it many times happen that a guy sees me, recognizes me, and then tries to steal my girls. It's always happened so many times. And some guys are like, and usually I just ignore him. Like the best thing ever when a guy tries to steal your girls is you just act like he doesn't exist. Like you look through him like he's a ghost. You just don't acknowledge him. And then usually they're so shitty that they kick themselves out of the set anyways. So I'm talking to these 2 beautiful blonde Swedish girls, and this random guy comes in, and I'm like, it's just another fucking guy. But I see out of my periphery, this guy's fucking good. I'm like, okay, this guy's really fucking good. Fuck. So I look over, I'm like, holy shit, it's Willie Beck. I used to watch all his videos. What is he doing here? And then he's like, he takes one of the other girl's hands. He's like, oh, let's go outside. And I'm like, great idea. So I take the other girl's hand. We go outside, and I'm like, nice to meet you, by the way. My name is Max, to the guy. And he's like, I know. My name is Will. And I'm like, I know. And then turns out that he was filming too. We had this little Asian guy running with the camera. Anyways, months or years, I can't remember, later, I'm in LA. I'm supposed to fucking launch. And I can't remember, but I felt really abandoned because RSD didn't help me. They're like, you have this huge launch that you've worked with over a fucking year. I've built up the hype, but I couldn't get the VSL up. And RSD, they had a villa in LA, but for some random reason I couldn't use it because I think somebody else was staying there. So I'm like, guys, I have no fucking internet. Like we're going to be late 36 hours for my fucking launch. So I tried everything. I was like thinking like Starbucks isn't open overnight because I needed to, I think it was supposed to launch like 9 a.m. the next day or something like that. So I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? I have no money to be in a better hotel because I was barely making any. Actually, I was making money already from the hot seat, But for some random reason, I just didn't think about spending extra money. I was still very much in the scarcity mindset, which I, by the way, was even after I was a millionaire. There's a whole funny story how I then later on, when I started making really good money from the natural, I still stayed in a student dorm in Helsinki. Not a student dorm, but a student apartment for 1,000 euros a month, which is funny. Anyways, and I remember Willie motherfucking Beck. He has an office because he was working with the guys from Simple Pickup in LA. In fact, not too far. So I text him. I'm like, bro. And he's like, dude, yeah, just come over to the office, man. I'm like, bro, but I need to stay there overnight while it uploads. He's like, don't worry, just come. So I come to the office. It's like 11 p.m., right? We're in his office building. Everything is dark. Everything is closed. All the offices have like no more light. We're sitting there and I'm like, okay, well, I have to upload here, right? This is it. Well, thanks, Willie. Appreciate it. Just come back in the morning, come pick me up and let me back out because he had the keys. So he had to lock me in. And then I'll never forget that. It was like uploading now all of a sudden just like 7 or 8 hours. So I was going to do it on time. But I was on Tinder texting with this cute Asian girl. And she's like, hey, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I have this launch thingy. I got to stay up all night. She's like, why don't you come to my place?
What internet do you have?
How do you escape?
Send me a speed test screenshot, please.
It's a speed test. And I was like, well, I really want to meet this girl too. But I can't now interrupt the internet thing. Okay, hey, Willie Beck, I messaged him again. I'm like, I know this is a lot to ask, but can you let me out and can you stay here to check if the upload works so I can go meet this girl? And he's like, sure, man, fuck it, I'll do it. He comes back into the office. I leave, go talk to this girl at her place. There's a whole other story. And then the next morning I come back and Willie is like sleeping in fetus position on the couch with the upload still open and it was finished. And Willie Beck is to this day my hero for this. Because it was not his business. He could go. In fact, I'm a competitor to his. He didn't give a shit. I uploaded it. We launched it. And I remember Snapchat was huge back then. So the first Snapchat was like, guys, this is it. It's up. Go get the natural. I remember it was on the parking lot of a rental car company. I think I did a 360 while filming or something. I almost broke my leg. I was like, this is what would have been funny to sprain my ankle now. And then we launched it, and then I was there with my videographer, and I was there with a photographer and a videographer. The videographer quit the day before. He couldn't handle it anymore. And I was only there with a photographer, but I convinced him to film me, because it's almost the same skill set. And the plan was to just have 2 weeks on the road in a car, and we just drive wherever the fuck we want, just explore the West Coast. So we would take the car. We had a big SUV. We would drive up from LA northwards along the coast. We would pass by all these scenic spots, take epic photos, shoot a couple videos. Then we would drive all the way to San Fran. Then we went to the Redwood Forest, where they shot Star Wars, where they shot Jurassic Park, Lost World. And then we were like, on Google Maps, we're like, dude, why don't we go to the fucking, Monument Valley? You ever heard of Monument Valley? I think it's in Utah. It's this like epic red big stones. You've seen it. It's super famous. And on the map, it was like this much, right? We're like, cool, we could probably go there in 2 hours or something, right? So we click on directions and it was 2-day driving, right? The States is so fucking huge, but we're like, fuck it, let's do it. So we went to Yosemite National Park in between, and we just, every place, like, this looks cool, let's stop there. Hey, are you hungry? Let's stop there. And like every time I would check my phone.
Apple named one of the OS Yosemite.
Exactly, yeah. And also El Capitan, which is the dome and shit like that. And then, every time I stopped, they would send me this like checkout link, and I would just see like hundreds of people. 469, 497, 697, 897, 497, just hundreds. And then they were like, I think the first day we made like 180K or something like that, just with info products. And then they're like, this is record. Like, this is best-selling program within the first 24 hours.
You were splitting, though, this money with RSD?
50-50 profit, yeah.
Damn, man.
But I did not care at all. Like, for me, I'm like, if I can make $5,000 a month, that's more than a doctor gets paid in Austria. Are you telling me I can get a doctor's salary by making fucking YouTube videos and teaching guys how to talk to girls in clubs.
You
Are you kidding me?
You are getting paid from YouTube as well, or you disabled the ads?
No, we disabled the ads, man. Yeah. We were just promoting our own programs there. And then it kept going because they were like, okay, 24 hours. Yeah, everybody can do that. Maybe you got lucky. It just kept going. And then it got more and more. So we had the launch period of 2 weeks or something like that. And after 2 weeks, there was the price increase. That's right. I think there was actually, we didn't start selling for $4.97. I think there was 50% off for the first week and then 30% off and then full price. And of course, the last day of each price increase, was fucking insane. So we would start making extra 200K and an extra 200K per day. And we're like, holy shit. Holy fuckity do. And then all of a sudden, I can't remember if I was on tour or if I was already at home. It was like, oh yeah, you made your first million, by the way. Congrats. And I was so in the grind because I was like, okay, what are the next videos we can already shoot? Like, this is like cool. Like, now I'm making money on autopilot. Like, now I have all this extra time. How can I use that time to make even more epic videos and just keep pushing the brand? Yeah. So I was so in the grind. I was just on my laptop. I was like, cool, first million. Well, doesn't feel any different. Doesn't change my fucking life. Let's keep making more shit.
And you moved to Ukraine when?
Oh, long after that. So in 2016, The Natural launched.
We met, by the way, 2000 in London.
17, I think. 16 or 17. I already had short hair, I think.
I think we met.
Had no more man bun. It must have been 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was on tour. So I think The Natural was after the second or third world tour. And then I did another tour. I just kept touring. There was no, I made money, fuck off now.
I think it was my benefit. Like, I could come to your event for free because I had The Natural.
I think it was The Natural event. Even.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Or no, I did a hot seat, I think, and everybody that had The Natural could come do 1 or 2 hot seats for free, something like that. We added it to the value stack. And so I went just straight, continued the touring. I had these 2 weeks in LA or through the States, and then I just went straight back to fucking touring. And that's why I didn't, for me, it didn't matter. I'm like, my life doesn't fucking change. I didn't have expensive hobbies. My hobbies were like playing video games, going to McDonald's. That's still my hobbies now. Only thing where I'm spending kind of money on is, like, of course, aside from investing, it's just watches. But back then I was watch. What the fuck? Why would I buy a fucking watch? I had an Android phone, like the cheapest fucking Android phone that I could get.
But do you go to Formula events because that's an expensive
hobby as well? No, I wasn't even a fan of Formula One yet. I started being
now though.
Yeah, now I do. Fuck it. Now I got a bunch of expensive hobbies. Yeah. That's right. You're right. My main hobbies, like I still love just playing video games by myself. And but yeah, that I was on a world tour, and then all this money kept coming in, man. It kept fucking
I remember
selling.
your YouTube brand back then. It was growing like crazy. At some point, you reached like 350,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But I think in your case, to go from 0 to 70,000 subscribers, I think it was really, really hard. Like, you had to push it a lot.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, you reached in a very short time frame. I think you went
really
from 70 to 300 very fast.
Very quickly,
I don't know, every video that you were releasing back then, it was like was amazing video. Like, it was banger after banger after banger. It was crazy.
There was a lot of momentum behind it, a lot of word of mouth. Because again, like back then, like the algorithm didn't like us because I was swearing, the topics that I was talking about were not mainstream, but the word of mouth was just so huge. And then I think I had a couple of the YouTube videos go viral. That channel doesn't exist anymore. I think it went to 320,000 or something like that. And towards the end, I just like all of a sudden surpassed everybody. And that's really because my whole idea was like, okay, let me have the biggest live events, biggest paid live events with the Max hot seat. And then that broke all the records, both in terms of best-selling live program, but also best-selling single live program in London. It was a $300 live event, the Max hot seat, and we had 150 signups for that, which was the biggest paid live program RZ had ever done. Then I brought out The Natural, which was became the biggest digital program in the first 24 hours in the first week and then ever in history. And then I'm like, okay, like what else is there to crack in terms of records? But I didn't have the biggest brand yet, just measured by subscribers. I think I had the biggest Instagram relatively quickly because I was the first one to really double down on it. But YouTube, Tyler still had more. He had, I think, 150K or something like that. And then I overtook him. And then
maybe views-wise, you were getting more.
I don't know. I couldn't remember it. I wasn't looking at views at all. So I can't speak about that. But I looked at the subscribers, and then I surpassed Tyler, and then I'm like, there's nothing more for me to break in terms of records. But then I still brought out Fearless, which I think also broke in terms of units sold and broke the record.
The Natural was the first one. Of course, it was the Natural, and then it was Get a Girlfriend, I think.
No, Fearless was second, and then it was Girlfriend Game.
How did you come up with the GG? How did you come up with the idea to make these programs? Like, was it a customer feedback?
Yeah. So we're like, okay, so like the Natural was...
I mean, it was genius. I'm being honest with you. Me as a customer, I was like, holy shit, that was the issue. Let's get the Fearless as well.
Exactly.
And I got that as well, I think.
My man.
The only one that I didn't buy was the last one, the Get a Girlfriend. That was the only one I didn't get.
I barely promoted that. I was so in the high ticket space back then. We even considered just giving Girlfriend Game away for free, just to get phone numbers to then call them to sell them the high ticket RSD Max mentoring.
Interesting, yeah.
Which we sold for 2K or 2.5K or something like that.
And that's again where we met in Ukraine.
That's right.
And you told me, what the hell are you doing with the personal training? You're the one who got me into this stuff, man.
Man.
You gave me the ideas.
No shit.
Yeah, just because we was in one night, everything changed, man. Imagine.
Wow.
Because you were telling me I'm making 300,000 a month. You can do it as well.
Yeah, I was ever
I
doing
remember
300K.
that. And you introduced me into this stuff. I couldn't believe it.
No shit.
But you knew Max from London.
I knew Max from London because I was the last person to take a picture with him.
That's right. And you showed me your Instagram. I'm like, who the fuck?
Yeah, and I told you, listen, bro, let's go and train. I'm training all the guys here in London. Let me train you as well. That's
right. And then we went to the YouTube studios as well. You brought me in.
Yeah, the YouTube studio.
Yeah.
Have you used that? I mean, except from me bringing you there?
I don't think they would have let me in, man.
No, you could go there.
Dude, I was a black sheep. I was like a literal dating coach. Those guys would have not let me.
Where I used to live in King's Cross, it was YouTube studio. And in YouTube studio, you could go there for free if you had more than 10,000 subscribers.
I remember, man.
And he had as well, because I used to also do YouTube back then.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And the benefit is that you go there, you can rent the most expensive cameras, you can rent studios, you can edit on the super fast computers without paying anything, even free food, and everything for free, honestly. That was one of the benefits of YouTube back then.
And all you had to do is have more than 10,000 subscribers. Back then, that was actually good. Nowadays, 10,000 subscribers, what the fuck are you going to do with that? Yeah, dude, 100,000 back then were like, you were a god.
Even 10,000 you were a god.
Yeah, like 100,000 you would walk down this. I still get recognized everywhere, especially in the States. But back then, you had 100,000 subscribers. People are like, holy shit, it's you. Wow, like you're fucking Brad Pitt or something. But yeah, that was great.
Man, I remember those days as well.
But then you went to UK, and then what happened?
No, so yeah, world tour, and then I got so burnt out, man. I got heavy burnout. I think, can't remember the year, but it was like, dude, I made such a mistake. They would always call me and be like, hey Max, let's make your schedule for the next year, right? And they always caught me at a really good mood. So I'm like, fuck yeah, man. Yeah. Okay, Amsterdam, Berlin, New York City, Orlando, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. And they're like, how about a break in between? I'm like, fuck that. Toronto, Montreal, And then I would have like 50 cities per year. Every week a new fucking city. And I'm like, first month of the tour, I'd be like, what have I done? But all my programs were already sold in advance because my brand was so big, so I couldn't just pull out the fucking guys, I'm tired. No, that's it. Now for the next year you're gonna be. So the last tour, it ended on December 23rd, and the next leg of that tour would be January 2nd. And on January 1st I already had to travel. So it was that back to back. And then, dude, I remember I was in, that was actually the only time I can remember I got a bad review from my life programs. It was in Gothenburg, and the guy was like, yeah, Max was weird. He really seemed like he didn't want to be there. And I'm like, yeah, no shit, I really didn't want to be there. And I remember I was staying in an Airbnb and it was dark because it was winter, and we have been touring all of fall and winter through Scandinavia and Northern Europe, so it was always dark. And of course, our sleep schedule was like all night because we would coach, and then we would go to bed when the sun goes up. So you didn't see the sun for like fucking 3 months in a row.
Crazy.
And then on top of that, we started smoking weed, a lot of it, just to calm down. Like I was so stressed out. I'm like, I need to smoke something. And my back then assistant used to be a little bit of a weed dealer, you know. And every city we would go to, I'd be like, you know what to do. And he would just go into the city and try to get some weed somewhere. And then we would smoke almost like every evening. And that really fucks you up too. So you're really, 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 really stressed. And then I was so burnt out, man. And then I come back to Austria to my family, and it's Christmas, right? And they're all like preparing the Christmas table. And I'm just like sitting on the couch, just staring, like 30-yard stare. Because I couldn't, it was so hard because I'm a natural introvert. And when you're touring, everybody wants to speak to you all the time. And it really felt, the way it felt like, it was like I'm a cake, and everybody takes a slice. And they kept taking, until it was only crumbles. And they kept taking the crumbles as well. I would go do a speech, and I would talk to 100, 300 people in a room. And then after that, everybody came up to me and wanted to take a photo and wanted to shake my hand and ask me more questions. I would just do a 3-hour fucking Q&A, giving everything. And then the guy's like, quick question, Max. And then they were like, so there's this girl. And they would elaborate and just take, just suck the energy out of me. Until it literally felt like I was just an empty shell. I was physically there, but I was completely mentally and spiritually gone. And then I even had to make this rule for my assistants. I had assistants that would travel with me. I'm like, do not ever leave me alone. Ever. Always be next to me. Please. Because I was freaking out when there was too many strangers. Because I felt like they would take everything from me spiritually and energy-wise and mentally. So I was really burnt out. And then I'm at my the Christmas dinner with my family, and my dad was pissed because he's like, oh, look at you, big shot, just because you make millions. Like, why are you not helping us prepare the table? And I'm just looking at him. I'm like, I can't. I just can't. And then I started crying. I like just started having a fucking mental breakdown. Literally started crying. And my dad's a big guy, you know. He's fat, and he was across the room, and he just looks at me, just kind of like you right now, like super stern. And I'm like, fuck, did I just piss my dad off, right? And he charges at me, and there was this table. He just yanks the table out of the way, and he hugs me, and he just pushes me really, really close, and we're both crying, and he's like, it's okay, son, like, sometimes you just can't, that's totally fine. Because up until that point, he interpreted my passivity as arrogance, of like, I'm too good for all of you. I'm too good to participate in the conversations. In reality, I was just fucking gone. I was a mental shell of myself, and that's how he understood. And then my relationship with my dad completely changed. He became very, very supportive. He then came to many, many of my events, joined a lot of my life coaching too with my old dad. Like, hey, everybody, this is my dad. Like, super random, you know. He's going to help us with the coaching today. Super fucking cool. And yeah, that was that. And then from there, I'm like, okay, no more fucking touring. I cannot. And then I wanted to move back to Vienna, and I stayed there for like 2 weeks till I found an apartment, and I got recognized every day. No exaggerations, not bragging or anything. Every fucking day. If I would go through the center with a girl or on a date, there would be guys coming up to me, asking for photos. That was fine. Sometimes they would then talk to the girl and weird her out. I would be at a dinner with my buddies. That was the table next to us would start taking fucking photos and filming. So I'm like, okay, I have zero privacy here. And that was also because Vienna was one of my biggest markets, because I come from Austria, come from Vienna. Yeah. So, of course, the word of mouth there was huge, right? There's this Austrian guy, he makes millions. So I'm like, okay, I got to move somewhere else where the girls are pretty.
That's
so
where you
I moved to Helsinki. I moved to Helsinki first because my friend back then, Andre, he was actually the first guy who paid me $130 back then on a forum. That's how I met him. He was the first guy who messaged me on the forum, do you do coaching, Max? I'm like, yeah. And he was the first guy who paid me $130, $150 for a day of coaching. And then we became best friends ever since. And I met him in Vegas just before I went to Vienna, and I told him I'm going to move somewhere. He's like, you should move to Helsinki. If you like blonde girls, move to Helsinki. So I moved to Helsinki after Vienna was a no-go. Moved to Helsinki, stayed there for, I think, 3/4 of a year. But also there I got recognized every day.
And you also met your girlfriend there, right?
Exactly, that's how I met my girlfriend. And funny enough, my strategy back then was just to run away when somebody recognized me. It was so funny. There was like a handful of guys that like, oh my God, Max! And I'm like looking, just start fucking running. And they're like, they would think I'm joking. They're like, haha! And then I just kept running. I couldn't handle it anymore. I was burnt out for like 2 or 3 years.
Bro, imagine the actual A-list celebrities, how they...
Yeah, fuck that. That's why I always say like it's a genie you can't put back in a bottle. Fame, at least. I mean, now I know that people tend to forget. I still get recognized almost every day, but much less. And it depends on what city I'm in. And anyways, and then I'm in Helsinki. That's where I met my girlfriend now of 8 years. And but then also my friend Kevin, he was like, you should move to Ukraine.
Kevin,
and I'm like,
yeah,
what?
Kevin.
You fucking Ukraine?
Kevin.
Yeah. And I'm like, why? And he was in Ukraine. He was doing some startup consulting or something. He's like, dude, Ukraine is sick. I'm like, look, does it have fast internet? He's like, yeah, okay. Does it have good gyms? Yeah. Does it have pretty girls? Yeah. Okay, fuck it, I'll move.
And good prices as well.
And good prices as well. And I'm like, but you're going to find me an apartment because I don't want to deal with it. And he sent, like a week later, sends me a beautiful place, the 28th floor. That's where you visited me.
Yeah.
He's like, I got you this. I'm like...
With the sauna.
Yeah, with the sauna. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming. And then it was May. I moved straight from Helsinki to Kiev. And then I just had 2 places. I had one place in...
For the office?
No, I had one place in Helsinki as an apartment.
Okay.
And one place in Kiev as an apartment, plus
the
an office on top of that. And then we got another office. I actually had 4 places. I went from sleeping on the floor to upgrading to a room, to traveling around the world with multiple assistants where we had to like sometimes share a bed and shit like that, to getting a 1,000 euro student apartment in Helsinki, which weirdly enough, I had already been making millions, but I just didn't want to have any expenses, to having one place in Helsinki with like 3 rooms that 3 extra rooms where I never was in, plus a really, really nice place in the 28th floor in Kiev, plus 2 offices. So 4 places.
The only place which I didn't come to visit you, I think at some point you moved to a really crazy apartment.
Yeah, penthouse.
But that was very expensive, right? 10 grand a month.
12.5K a month.
For Ukraine, it was crazy money.
Yeah.
Like
2 floors. I had my offices inside my apartment.
Yeah. I never visited.
I bought a jacuzzi. Okay,
I remember that worst story where you shipped it and they're trying to lift
so
it
good.
on the
Worst 15K I ever spent in my life was that fucking jacuzzi. So I moved to this baller place, 2 floors, penthouse. I lived in the same building as like Dynamo Kiev football players. I think I had like the defense minister or some shit was in my building. And then this one time I'm leaving the building. And so we're going to get back to the worst 15K in a second. This one time I'm leaving the building. Okay, marble everywhere, like sickest lobby with security guys. I'm leaving the building and there's fucking SWAT teams in front of it. There was like 3, these tank ammunition, crazy vehicles. There was 3 of those, plus a SWAT team, blue lights everywhere. And I'm like going to the gym or something. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm messaging my assistant. She's Ukrainian. I'm like, hey, do you know what's going on? And she's like, yeah. So it looks like, I can't remember, like the Minister of Defense or some fucking minister, he's tried to flee. Like they tried to arrest him, and then he tried to run away or some shit. And then apparently he did escape from the SWAT team, and now they were looking. So he was living there in the same building as me, and then he escaped, and then they were looking for him in the city somewhere.
Crazy.
So anyways, I'm in this place. I rented 12.5K a month. And I remember first of all, they wanted it in cash. So they were like, you got to pay rent in cash. I'm like, oh, you want me to pay $12,500 in cash? I mean, sure. They're like, yeah. Okay. So every month I would go to the bank with my fucking Visa card, American Visa. I need $12,500 in cash. And they're like, okay. And then they would come with the machine. And then I would just, dude, it was so funny, man. I was like, and then I would just walk home with the cash in my pocket. Like sometimes the cash would fall out and the wind would blow. I'm like, oh, here's a couple $100, you know? When I got it, they were like, okay, well, you have to pay 2 months rent, the first 2 months in cash, plus a security deposit, which was another 2 months rent. So we had like $50,000 that we had to pay in cash, but that first payment, they didn't want to have in dollars. They wanted to have it in Ukrainian hryvnia. And the hryvnia is like 28 back then, and now it's probably even worse. 28 hryvnias is $1. So I need to get $50,000 times 28 in fucking hryvnia. Fuck, dude. And I'm like, I'm not gonna obviously get this manually. You assistant, here's my card. Go get it, and then transfer the exchange it. And she's like, cool. It took her an entire day to get all the money, and then when we came to sign the papers for the lease. So funny. I'm like there with the lawyer of the owner, and my assistant was late, and then, okay, yeah, she's going to come with the money. Oh, finally she's here. I shit you not. She comes in with 2 sports bags full of cash. She puts the sports bag on the fucking counter, opens it up, and it was just cash lying there. It was literally like in a gangster movie. So we take out all these staples of cash. And of course the fucking dude didn't bring a counting machine. So they start counting fucking manually. 1, 2, 3,
no
4.
Way.
Yeah. And I'm like, and so they didn't trust her to count it. So she counted it first, and then they had their lawyer count it again. And I was literally like, hey guys, you don't need me to be here, right? I'm going to sign. If there's any money missing, just let me know. I'll get it to you. And I fucked off. And it took him all afternoon to count the fucking money.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then
So you've done this for 1 year?
Yeah. And then I had the place for 1 year in total.
And then you're like, fuck this, I'm out.
So yeah. And I'm like, oh, and the thing was, I said I'm going to get the place under one condition. I had this huge veranda, like you could go outside. It was huge. It was like, I can't remember, like 100 square meters, just veranda. And it had a little garden house on the veranda, on the 20th floor in the middle of the city. And all this extra space. And I'm like, I want a jacuzzi there. I want something with water. So when I throw parties in the summer, people can, in the bikinis and have fun. And then, yeah, okay, we're going to get a fucking jacuzzi. So I said to the landlord, I'm like, I'm only going to take it if I can get a jacuzzi there. And we're going to pay 50-50 for the jacuzzi, and I'll pay the installment. And they're like, okay, sounds good. So the jacuzzi itself was $5,000. So I paid half of that. And they estimated for an installment to only be like $2,000 or something. And then they were like, my assistant calls me, she's like, bad news. So it turns out that the jacuzzi weighs like 2.5 tons, metric tons. And the veranda cannot sustain that. It's too heavy. So they need to reinforce it with like steel. And I'm like, how much is it? And she's like, I can't remember, like 13-14K. And I'm like, well, I already said I'm gonna get it. Fuck it, get it. And then they had these like dudes coming, these like builders, and they ripped the entire veranda apart and put these like steel tree thingies there as a support, and then put the veranda on top of it. And then I'm like, how do they get the jacuzzi up here if it's 2.5 tons or whatever? And they're like, they're gonna bring a crane, right? That's what my assistant said, a crane.
What floor you were?
20th. So the day comes, okay, jacuzzi will be delivered today. You know what it was? It was one van, a white van with a wind on it, and like 3 huge dudes with muscles and no hair, like just bald guys. And they had this like crane thingy. They had this rope that they attached to the roof of the building, and then they would literally attach on the other end the jacuzzi, and they would like,
what?
It took him, I swear to God, like 3 hours.
Oh my God. Man.
Are you serious?
You're like, one mistake and my jacuzzi is gone.
This is not an exaggeration.
I remember the video.
I have the video. I'm going to show it to you. It's so fucking good. So funny.
Fuck?
Dude, and then, we'd be like working, and all of a sudden out the window, you would see it.
Yeah.
And and then I had the jacuzzi up there. I really used it in the all winter. You could heat it up to like 40 degrees Celsius. It had a little thingy on it, a little roof thingy. So, dude, it was a dream come true, because my whole thought was, these monkeys in Japan, they're bathing in the warm water on the mountain, and then all the snow is on their head. That I was like, that's gonna be me. When it's snowing in Ukraine, I'm gonna sit in the hot tub in the jacuzzi, and it's gonna snow on my hand, and that was it. Like, it would snow like crazy. You would have to wade through the snow on the veranda. It was like knee-deep snow, and then hop into the jacuzzi. It was 40 degrees. It was steaming. You would sit there. You would see the skyline of Kiev, and the jacuzzi had an MP3 player. It had like Bluetooth. You could connect your phone. You listen to fucking Welcome to the Jungle, Guns N' Roses. Just blast that shit. You'd have a bag of chips and just eat, man. I would have business meetings in that fucking jacuzzi. I would sit there with 2-3 business partners and discuss their ads. Like, you know what you should do? You should make an ad about this just while eating chips in the jacuzzi.
So what was the worst investment you did for
that jacuzzi? It was that because then
it was the best to me. Like, it was the best.
It sounded really good, but
Maybe
here's the
it
thing.
broke.
Here's the thing.
It broke.
Well, that too. The roof, it had this roof thingy, and I wake up one morning, and the roof thingy, it would always get caught by the wind, and it would open.
The cover
right?
you meant.
And then, the cover, exactly. And one morning, I wake up, and I see the jacuzzi's empty. Half of the water is gone, and the cover is gone. And I'm like, yeah, maybe it lies somewhere, maybe the wind blew it open. No, the wind blew it so hard off its hinges, it flew off the fucking roof. So I would look down on the street. It's not there. I would tell my assistant, yo, you gotta go around the building and see if the roof is. We couldn't find it anymore. It must have been blown through the skyline across Kiev somewhere.
Probably.
So, yeah, but that wasn't the issue. The issue then was I had this place for 1 year, okay? And I still had one place in Helsinki, and I was traveling to Austria, and generally I was traveling. So after that 1 year of paying $12,500 a month rent, and plus, in the place itself, there was like all these extra rooms that I would never enter. Like, I had like 3 bedrooms. Why would I have 1 bedroom, and I would work on the kitchen table. And I had 1 room was converted into an office. So it was a little practical. But other than that, I'm like, I'm never in this fucking room. Why am I here? It was so weird. I'm like, you know what's funny? I was missing the times where I would share a shitty Airbnb with 3 assistants, and we would all work on the dinner table. Like, you would work here, the other guy would eat fucking pizza, like frozen pizza that he made in the oven. And I'm like, I miss these simple times, and now I'm in this huge place overlooking the skyline, and I'm still just working on my fucking laptop. Why do I have this place? It felt so unnecessary. And then I asked my assistant, hey, can you calculate how many days of the last 12 months I've spent in this apartment? And she's like, sure. Oh, yeah. She calculates, could she have my calendar? Turns out 7 out of 12 months I wasn't even there.
7 out of 12 months?
Yes.
7 months, you mean?
7 months out of the whole 12 months I was not there.
So you were basically spending this crazy money?
So I was spending 7 times 12K for not even being there, for it to be empty. And then I'm like, look, I'm a fan of spending, nothing against buying dumb shit if you really have the money, but this is where I draw the line. This is just unnecessary. Because 12.5K is like a entry-level Rolex that I could buy per month. I could buy a new Rolex every month. I could donate it. I could do whatever I want. I could buy my mom a holiday vacation every fucking month. Instead, I'm blowing it on this place, and I'm not even there. And when I'm there, I'm in my room, 1 bathroom, and the kitchen table. But I have all these other rooms that I don't need. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this.
How much is to buy that apartment? Let's say if someone wanted to buy this.
I can't remember. Maybe $1.5 million or something like that. I think I saw the price somewhere at some point, but I can't remember. Something like that. I'm trying to find the video of the...
I remember that video. Imagine, I have it in my brain.
What year was that?
Didn't you leave Ukraine because of the war?
That then as well, yeah. So I'm trying to understand what year that was.
That one was
20. Was it the? I had the other place then
so
at
wait
the
a minute.
pandemic. But my question is, did I get it before the pandemic or after?
What did you
no,
use to
before?
You used to the high ticket?
I think I had it in 2021.
When did you move to that apartment? You used to do high.
I did. I already did high ticket. Okay, so I'm already in that place
the
now.
dating, right?
No, that was already business high ticket. That was 2020. I already had the place. I think. And here I had the old place. It must have been between 2020 and 2022. So this is the old place. This is 2020. Yeah. This is June. Oh, that's right. August 2020, I moved there. So it must be somewhere here where I have the jacuzzi thingy. I had it in my highlights, I thought. Croatia, gaming, Austria trip, Cyprus trip, life. I think it must be somewhere there, man. Oh, they have the highlights of you visiting us in Paphos with your benzo.
Oh,
You remember that?
When we came.
Where is the... Oh, I think it was a reel. That's why. I'll dig it up. I can speak while digging it up. But I gotta show you it's so funny.
You rely on Instagram, bro. If you had even your
my
photos
whole life.
on iPhone, they have a feature right now on iOS 18 that you can search, let's say, jacuzzi, and it's gonna find all the videos instantly.
I found it.
Jacuzzi. I think I'm gonna put a jacuzzi here. Get this whole parties and stuff like that. They have the construction work being done. Still constructing.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, exactly that one.
And that was us trying it for the first time. This girl didn't bring a bikini, so I had to give her a shirt. So you should go in with my shirt. I remember that. That was that stupidest 15K I ever spent. But fun.
So wait. So you were in Ukraine. You left Ukraine when you started doing the business mentoring.
No, so I did business mentoring in 2019. That's where I transitioned from dating to business mentoring. With the business mentoring, the first month we made, I think, 350K a month. Second month, we cracked $500,000 already. It was all organic. It was insane. So we made that level, like between 400 and 500K a month. We made that for a while, and then it started going down because the organic growth didn't support the rate by which we sold. So at some point we sold basically everybody, my entire list. And then I had the choice. That was 2020. So just before Corona, money started going down. And then I had the choice, okay, do I look into this and really figure out why we're going from almost 500K every single month down to 200K a month? Do I want to look into all my procedures, my entire team, where the traffic is coming from, social media, offer, everything? Or do I just fucking retire because I have the money? Or do I really want to commit to going all in? So I'm like, I'm not going to fucking give up now. You know, because for me, like, retiring would just be like an excuse for like, I can't figure it out. And to be fair too, I thought I would figure it out within 2 months. You know, like, no, it took 2 years. 2 years for us to figure out cold traffic. Then we had great cold traffic, but then sales team couldn't convert. A lot of sales staff left because they were just used to selling to hardcore fans. All of a sudden they would have to sell to cold traffic, like a person like, I don't know you guys. Like, I have to handle objections now. What the fuck? So a lot of sales staff left. I had to fire a lot of sales staff, basically completely eat shit for 2 fucking years.
So you were losing money for 2 years, or?
No, I was not losing money. We're still making money, but much less. Like, I was used to like making multiple 100K a month profit after everything for myself. And all of a sudden it's like 50K a month. And you have to work for it, and you have to manage the team and listen to sales calls and strategize and all that. And like all of a sudden, it was really, really stressful because
so the margins got tighter and tighter, basically.
Exactly. Margins got tighter. Team left because, here's the thing, dude. Like, loyalty doesn't fucking exist. Nobody's going to be loyal to you. You think your staff is fucking loyal. They're loyal as long as they know that it's going well. Once they know, hey, the business is kind of struggling and we all need hands on deck and really work hard, yeah, that's where they're fucking starting to leave. Because they're like, this sucks. Like, I have to, like, I'll be loyal as long as things are going well and everybody's getting bonuses and I have to put in like 30% of my effort. But once it's really like, hey, we're going to eat shit for the next 2 years and it's going to be hard, but when you do it, you're going to be one of the founding members and you're going to make a lot of money 2 years down the lane. Nobody wants to do that. So that was me enduring basically my entire team either leaving or underperforming, and I had to fire them for 2 years. Plus, on top of that, figure out cold traffic, figure out everything, figure out offer, and dealing with all that. And then after 2 years, one of my first clients, Robin Bauman, who was one of my first business consulting clients, he then actually visited me in Kiev, and he would just start talking about ads. He's like, why don't you guys do this? Why don't you guys do that? And I'm like, why don't you work for us? Like, why don't we hire you as our CMO? Well, back then, just as our ads guy. And he's like, no, I'm busy, I can't do it. But I just kept bugging him. And he's now our CMO. And he helped us turn this whole ship around with his cold traffic marketing strategy. So over 2 years, we really had to figure that out. And then in 2022, 2023-ish, it started fucking making money again, like good money. And it was really like, we would get people, and this is what I keep saying, man, so many entrepreneurs out there, they can make money only with organic. They're too much of a pussy to make cold traffic work. And even if they are not a pussy to make cold traffic work, they don't have the skill set or the patience to even fucking make it work. It took us 2 fucking years, and we were really committed.
2 years.
Really fucking
you were
committed.
burning money.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, oh, we're not making money. It's like we were spending money on ads and we're not converting it. And you would listen to a sales call and the guy was like willing to spend $25K and the closer can't fucking close him because he's not used to objection handling. And you're listening to this, right? And you're like, no! It's like you know what it's like? It's like the movie Interstellar, where he sees his daughter, and he sees him leaving, and he's like, no. That's you listening to the sales call after the call was botched. You're like, don't say this! And it's like, the guy leaves, and it's gone already because you're listening to the replay. And you're just like, 25K, gone, fuck! And now you have to tell the sales guy, and you can't yell at him, because then they get fucking pissed at you. Yeah. So you got to be fucking patient. You got to be positive. That was me 2 years. And then all of a sudden we started making money from cold traffic. We would start getting people that they seen an ad 24 hours ago. They come to the closing call and drop 25K because we worked so hard on having really, really, really good sales procedures and sales staff. And one of these guys, the guy that started making money from cold traffic was Nico, who was like the third closer back then. Mm-hmm. Third closer meaning like the third best, meaning he gets the third shittiest leads. He's now our sales manager, sales trainer, handles everything. He's a god with sales. And all clients love him. All clients love him. Everybody loves him. He's the crazy guy, but amazing. And he really stepped up from goodwiller to cold caller to setter to third closer to now sales manager. And then I would say between 2023 and this year, we've just been able to convert cold traffic solely on sales process.
Tell us what is your offer, man? Because some people maybe don't know.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second. Let me just finish this point. And then what we did is we're like, okay, well now that we can close someone completely cold without any warm-up sequence, now let's add on top of that warm-up sequences, organic, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram. Because when your closers can convert super cold people, you give them warm people, they're going fucking nuts. They're like, I don't have any objections anymore. Like, what the fuck? But when someone does have objections, they can go hard and they close, which is fantastic. So our offer that we started in 2019 with the business consulting was helping people building a coaching business. So whatever, you're good at fitness, you want to become a fitness coach, come to us. We'll teach you how to get your first clients, how to build a micro brand that is small but highly lucrative, make your first 10K a month. Then from there, we started getting a lot of clients that we brought up to 10K a month. And then they would ask, of course, well, what's next? So then we started building advanced offers on top of that. That's basically, you're already a coach, you're making some money, you're making 5, 10K a month. If you want to scale this thing to 50K a month, good, come to us advanced programs. So that would then teach people how to build a brand, how to run paid ads, how to really build a small team, start making some small key hires. And then we had more advanced clients that were making 50K. They're like, can I make 500K a month? And we're like, yeah, well, we've done it. This is how you do it. So there we had an even more advanced program where we teach people literally how to make over $1 million a year. So these were like the 3 core programs of the first business consulting. Then what we added on top of that is I started dabbling with Instagram a lot. Instagram has always been my main favorite platform. And I would just go fucking viral all the time on Instagram Reels. So we're like, well, how about we make a little mini program for all of our existing clients that teaches people how to go viral on Instagram Reels and TikTok. So I would just like go autism mode, lock myself in for 2 weeks and just make an extra program just for free because I was so excited about this. I mean, you guys can tell I'm excited about this shit. That's why I'm fucking rambling all the time. So I'm like, okay, let's build this for our clients. Here it is for free. So now our clients would start getting viral and they would make all this crazy fucking views and make money from that. But then my CMO was Robin. He was like, you made this? Why? I'm like, yeah, it's cool. It's for the clients. He's like, dude, we should sell this shit. Cold traffic, man. What the fuck are you talking about? So we started running ads. Couldn't quite make it work. We were like 60% profitable on the front end of selling just this program. And then he, all of a sudden, Robin, like half a year later, comes with this guy and this other Dutch guy, Simon. He's like, he's going to rewrite the copy for this. And all of a sudden, we became really profitable with that. So now we have basically the second offer, which is not necessarily aimed at people who want to build a coaching business, but business owners in general that want to build a brand on Instagram with short-form videos. That's where this whole make viral videos, what is it? Make viral videos great again. We have 2 variations. We have make going viral great again and make viral videos great again.com. So that's where you basically say, okay, you want to go viral because you have a business or because you're an influencer or because you want to do digital marketing or because you want to do affiliate marketing or because you have any sort of physical or digital product, come to us. And this is now our second flagship offer that we've been building up since this year. And I think we're now at like roughly 50-50, where 50% of our clients come because they want to build a coaching business and 50% of our clients come to us because they want to go viral. And we're going to double down on the going viral now. We are actually at we've had a record month in October, and it looks like we're going to have a record month in November as well. We just need 20K.
This year?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we just need 20K in the next 2 days, which should be more than unless we've completely dropped the ball, should be more than easy to reach that. And then we have another record month from that, and then we're just going to go all in Q1 2025 with the viral offer.
Is this low ticket or high ticket?
It's high ticket.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a low ticket component of it, which helps with warming people up, but it's high ticket.
And what's the story with the AI stuff?
Completely forgot about that.
I saw your story yesterday.
Same spiel here. It was like I got excited about it. I'm like, what if I could, like a friend of mine sent me a Loom video that he made about how to make custom GPTs. And I knew ChatGPT, I would like ask it stupid questions like, can a lobster grow indefinitely if you feed it? Shit like that. That's what I would use ChatGPT for. Then he sent me this video on like how to make custom GPTs. I'm like, well, I'm not a nerd. Fuck, this is boring. Whatever. I want to go viral and help people make money. And then I'm like, I watched this video. I'm like, can I build a custom GPT that kind of helps me go viral? So I built my first custom GPT called Ava. You can actually get it for free. Ava, we give out for free. Ava literally is pretty sick. It's like a custom GPT that creates viral content for you based on your niche, based on your personal experience, so it doesn't sound like a generic bullshit GPT. Plus, it writes the entire script for you. Plus, it writes your visual instructions on how to shoot it. And if you don't want to show your face, it tells you how to do it faceless. And I'm like, again, this is really cool. I will use this for all my content. So I use it for all my content. I'm like, I should give it to my clients for free so they can post more, right? And then I give it to them. And then, of course, my CMO is like, you did what again? Why are you building always this cool? We should sell this. So we started implementing that into our offer on the front end. So instead of just giving it to our clients, we're like, hey, well, this is actually an AI stack system that you've developed. Let's promote it. Let's tell people that we have it. Because after Ava stands for I forgot, automated viral automator. I literally forgot what I called my own GPT. AVA, that's what it is.
AVA, okay.
Yeah, AVA, advanced viral automator. That's what the name is. And then I'm like, okay, cool, but I have a lot of clients that do LinkedIn and Facebook. Can I use custom GPTs based on the code of Ava, but just extrapolate it on the Facebook so it creates viral Facebook posts? Okay, so I made that, and it was called Frank, which is Facebook relevant automated niche content creator or something like that. And I gave that to my clients. And then I'm like, okay, hold on a second, but what if I could write a GPT where I feed it a post from a competitor, for example, right? Like, okay, I'm in a Facebook group now, and there's this one post that is converting super well. Can I feed it that post and then have it rewrite this exact post in my personal writing style. So I basically feed it I feed it the source post from someone else, and I give it a couple posts from myself so it knows my writing style. It then extrapolates the writing style and spits out an entirely new post based on the first post, but in my voice. Turns out I could. So I wrote a GPT, custom GPT, that does that with Facebook posts called Ferris. Facebook Automated Rewriting Intelligence System, I think. Of course, I asked ChatGPT to come up with a cool acronym name. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Well, but a lot of my clients are using LinkedIn. Can I build the same AIs that writes LinkedIn posts from scratch? Yes, I could. And then I said, well, I don't want to spend my whole fucking time dicking around on LinkedIn because I know for my clients that it takes them 2 hours to write a good LinkedIn post. So I also said, well, can I write a LinkedIn ChatGPT that rewrites LinkedIn posts? So I would go, whatever, Justin Welsh, right? One of the biggest LinkedIn creators. And I would just copy paste his article and just slap it into my AI, give my AI 3 of my own articles, and it rewrites it. And what I've done is I've just started using this myself. And I just started posting every day on LinkedIn. My engagement got up over 100%. My impressions got over 140% growth. I've been doing this for weeks now. Nobody noticed. The only thing that happened is that my impressions are have doubled, and my engagement has over doubled. And the crazy thing is, I'm posting every day, and one single post takes me 90 seconds on average. Now, I'm of course pretty experienced with using these AIs, but I've started giving this to my clients. It takes them 10 minutes to write a fucking post now. Instead of 2 hours, 10 fucking minutes. And their growth is insane, and now they have all this extra time. So I'm like, again, this is great. And then my CMO said, we should promote this. This is basically now a new offer. Like, use AI to do, 80, 90% of the work for you? Because if you're a business owner, if you're a coach, the most things that take the most time for you are to write content, reply to DMs of people to book them for a call, and then the coaching part. Coaching part is already easily delegated if you do high ticket and you do group coaching.
Yeah.
The posting takes forever. Not anymore. 90 seconds, it can write all your posts on LinkedIn and Facebook. And we also developed an AI that replies to all your inbound DMs for you. We use that AI myself. We use it literally right now.
On Instagram?
Yeah. On Instagram,
it's a tool that is replying to on your Instagram?
It can, dude. The guys I'm working with that are doing this, we're all doing it all in-house. So first of all, when we started using the inbound DM AI, it instantly outperformed my very, very seasoned, experienced DM setter team by 30%. Instantly. It booked more calls, better calls. The reply rate was, of course,
because fast.
Was replying all the time. It didn't need to go to sleep. I'll tell you, I didn't need to be managed anymore. Because there's no daily meetings I need to have with my setter team. There's no KPIs it just does the fucking thing. It doesn't ask for time off, and I don't need to pay it.
Are you doing this with ManyChat?
It is using ManyChat tagging systems, but in essence, it's not just a ManyChat automation bullshit. It's not that. It's an actual.
I know.
This is a crazy thing. So the AI what it does is we started with just text.
Okay.
Then we started feeding in voice messages from myself.
So if I text you right now on your Instagram.
Yeah. There's AI. 100% AI.
So can I test it?
Sure. It's a Max Tornow business, by the way, not Max Tornow.
Okay, I will do it later.
Yeah. And dude, apparently now, this is just a new add-on that we added. It can listen to voice messages. Because sometimes somebody just leaves a voice message at you, whoever you ask about their goals, and then they leave you a 1-minute voice messages. It can listen to those.
Yeah.
If someone sends a photo, it can see what's in the photo and reply accordingly. And it sends my pre-recorded voice messages out as well, and pre-recorded selfies. And it can apparently also, I haven't tested myself, I just let him rip, I believe him. Apparently what it does is it sends them selfies of me with their name on it. So if someone's like, I don't believe it, it's me, and then the name is just written with the Instagram thing. It's like, hey, what's up, John? It's me.
Crazy.
Yeah. And again, we're booking way more calls now, employee of the fucking month, AI, every single time. And we're also giving this to our clients. This costs extra, though, because you have to pay per message for it. But, we have thousands of messages in and out every month, and it's like $1,500 a month. With thousands of messages. So if you're a smaller creator and I can't afford it, it's just going to be a couple $100.
$1,500 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah, super. I mean, again, that's less than you have to pay a pretty good DM appointment setter.
So let me ask you something, okay? So the last 12 years, I guess you also have less employees right now, right?
Yeah,
Because obviously you don't need them anymore.
exactly. We're like,
You have a smaller team, you make more money.
I have a way smaller team. I make way more money. Plus, I want to say here too, because I was like, I am becoming the asshole that I thought I never was. Like, oh, you're now replaced by a machine. I did not do that. So all the people that got replaced by an AI, I found them another job. I want to say this here as well, because I was literally like, okay, listen, I have good news and bad news. Bad news, we have an AI. It's going to do your job. But first of all, I'm not just going to fire you right away. I'm going to keep paying you, and I'm going to find you another job, and I'll pay you until you find another job. Because I did not want to be the asshole that's like, well, an AI does your job now. Sayonara. I don't want to do that. So I got everybody else a job. And yeah, team's much smaller now. Plus, dude, like, we're building so much awesome AI shit. We're building an AI function that this is not super new. There's other AIs that do that already, but we want to build one in-house. That is, you feed it all your program videos. Right, so it's like you have your members area with like whatever 200 videos. You feed it all the videos. And that uses that as a database of all the knowledge. So then a client can chat with the AI, right? And in our case, is like, what do I post or whatever? What do I text back to this prospect? The AI then scrapes all the info from all the videos and replies to it like a human. Hey, by the way, the 3 things you need to be aware of when you text someone is this, and this. So we can add now basically 24/7 support with the chat. If everything we do is one-on-one with our clients, like real humans. So if our clients want, they can always jump on a one-on-one call with a real actual coach. We have the group calls and all of that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but on top of that,
Just gave me the most crazy idea ever.
There you go. But on top of that, they now have the AI.
When
chat
do I
support
send you
as
my
well.
100K?
Say it again.
When do I send you the 100K?
Yeah. And that's the cool thing. It's like, look, it's always at the end of the day, the people who profit the most from it is not even us, it's our clients. Because now they have all these AI systems, they can post fucking nonstop.
Is that ready or no, Max?
Yeah, that is all ready. Except for the support AI, that's one we're
Is it
building
inside
right
your
now.
members area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, we're working also on, so we might make it even sicker. The other thing that we're working on is that, so we have Ava who writes content scripts for you from scratch. And then we have the LinkedIn and the Facebook piece, ChatGPTs, where you feed them text posts and it rewrites them for you. We're working on something that does that with video. So the way the first version exists already, now we're just going to run through it for testing for the next couple of days, is it's an interface. You copy paste an Instagram video in there from anyone in any niche that has gone viral, right? Just like whatever, some guy that talks about 3 tips on how to play football properly. Yeah. You put that link in, and then you say, this is my target audience, this is my niche, this is my personal hero story, make this real, but rewrite it for me. And then it takes the exact reel that you gave it, or TikTok, and rewrites exactly for your niche, your audience, and your background, and then it gives you that script entirely like that.
Did you also do with AI any cold calling or anything with voice?
Not yet. I don't think it's quite there because the delay is a little bit too much. But
wait a minute.
Did
you try it recently, or when did you try it?
6 months ago.
Boy,
if it's already good, I'm the first one to
really
fucking use it, man. I'm the first one to use it. The last thing we are building right now is another custom GPT that automatically transcribes from your entire team all the closing calls or setter calls. And then we fed it all of our sales training, everything, because we have internal trainings and sales training we give our clients. So it's everything, how to close, how to objection handle, how to do discovery phases. We feed it all that info as a database. Then it reads the transcripts of every closing call. It rates it on, how well did the discovery phase go? Did the objection get handled properly? Was the rapport enough? It rates it, and then first stage is it then notifies the sales manager if whatever, hey, this one is a low rating on rapport, listen to the call, right? And then the stage 2 is then that it actually automatically looks into the training for whatever rapport and then gives feedback automatically to the sales rep and says, hey, by the way, you fucked up the rapport here and this is what you need to do.
What is your biggest takeaway 2024?
AI. All out AI.
This is what changed your business this year. This is what you believe.
Absolutely. it's so overwhelming when you get in because every new week there's a new tool, and you're like, I don't want to fucking deal with it.
You remember 1 year ago when we made the podcast together and you had this viral moment of me saying that the new generation is dumb. You remember that?
I remember that. Yeah. So it did go viral even that video.
I don't remember.
I do. I think on YouTube Shorts or something like that.
Look, I mean, for this year, I still believe the same. Because if you don't actually know how to prompt, you cannot make this work.
You can now. You can now.
You really?
That's exactly. I had the same thought, and I'm like, most of my clients don't know how to prompt.
They don't know how to prompt.
Yeah, they're like,
that's
fuck.
The issue. That's what I'm trying to explain.
That's what I'm saying. They're like, fuck, because I'm not
how to prompt.
That's why I wrote these GPTs. There's no fucking prompt anymore. It's like, what's your niche? What's your audience? What content do you want to create?
So you made it for dumb people. You made the GPT for dumb people.
So here's the hook. Here's the headline. Here's this. Here's what to say. Here's what the headline says.
But this is based on your prompting. That's how it works.
Yeah.
It's not just based on my prompting. I fed it all my information about how to make viral hooks.
Yes. Okay.
So it's basically like my brain. It's like you would ask me, hey Max, what would be a good viral hook for this niche, for this target? And I would tell you, right, from my 10 years of experience. So I just slapped all that in the documents, huge fucking documents. I fed those documents into the custom GPT, and I say, when you create these hooks, get the info from these documents based on the niche and input from the user.
And they also come up with new ideas.
Exactly. And it cross-references the ideas from what's going on, right? Because ChatGPT, since 3 months ago, can now have access to the World Wide Web. So it finds what's working right now on the internet, cross-references this with my documentation, and then spits out based on the user information what the script and the headline and so on and so forth should be.
What is one thing in your business that you believe that you are weak and you would like to improve?
Good question.
Apart from AI, I worked a lot on my mindset. And it's super weird because I always made fun of people with like, oh, it's about the mindset, you know? I've actually done hypnosis sessions twice with hypnotherapists that would like help me reprogram my mind, and it's insane. And that shit made me start really thinking much, much bigger. I was happy to be making, $1 million a month. That was like the goal. Like, let's go make $1 million a month. We haven't reached that quite yet, but we're working on it. But through these hypnosis things, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I limiting myself to a fucking $1 million a month? Fuck that. So I have no specific goal anymore. I don't want to limit myself. I think right now it's just a matter of time because we had record month after record month. It's going so well that I need to be very careful with timing because we will get a shit ton more clients in after December. We're expecting December to still be doing pretty well. Decembers have never been historically bad for us, but we know that January will go all out with like way, way, way higher ads budget. And I need to make sure that the timing is exactly right, that I hire enough staff on the support side of things to not quote unquote scale too fast. Because obviously we do everything one-on-one. So I need to make sure that I foresee and calculate precisely how many new clients we expect, how much growth we expect, and how many new staff members I need. And when I need them, calculating in how much training time they will need.
You have a CFO for this?
No, it's all me.
So that's you who is doing all this stuff.
Yeah, so that might actually be a weakness, right? So that's kind of like a lot of the timing needs to be right because I honestly believe 2025 will make it to $1 million a month.
So let me ask you something. If someone was about to kidnap you for 2 years, will you still make money?
Yeah. We would still make money, but
it's not going to be as high as right now.
Exactly, yeah. The thing is now with the fucking avatars, my CMO would just be like, well, Max is gone, fuck it. So feed the avatar Max's lines of the new VSLs and just have him talking to camera.
Do your customers buy because of your face or is it because of the brand? That's what I want to understand.
Very, very fewer and fewer because of my face. It's really funny.
So some people, they don't even know that.
Exactly. They're like, who is this guy? Okay. Why does he have tattoos?
Interesting.
They don't know it.
That's really interesting.
I made this fucking thing, dude. Yeah, because it's cold traffic, right? Now we're getting more people again that are like, the podcast, weirdly enough. They're like, yo, I watched all the podcasts and I'm ready to buy now. So that has a little bit of a fame effect. But like I said, we've worked so hard on the sales and on the marketing, on the message, and on the offer that it all sells itself without people being bought into who I am. And if you then, on top of that, because honestly, without tooting my own horn, my charisma and my brand is actually one of our strong suits. But we build all these things around me now so we don't rely on that. So now, because now I'm going all in on organic content again, now that the sales is fixed, marketing is fixed, cold traffic is all fixed, now I have all this time. All I do now is fuck around with AI and make more content. And now I can kind of get that organic brand image back up, but now it's not a necessity. It's now fuel you put on the fucking fire.
Do you know every single detail of your business? Like if I ask you right now, what is the most expensive software that you are spending money on?
Yes, I know.
What is it?
It used to be HubSpot, but we got rid of it because it cost us like $8,000 a month.
You got rid of HubSpot. So what is the replacement?
HubSpot. Close.
Close CRM.
Yeah, we went from like $8,000 a month to like $2,500 a month or some shit.
Interesting.
Yeah, HubSpot's super overpriced.
I mean,
super fucking overpriced.
Because HubSpot is expensive because you have to buy that to make that work. You
Yeah,
have to buy that. And it's basically they're trying to sell you everything.
Exactly. Plus, we had so many leads. I mean, we got like hundreds of thousands of leads, so they kept giving us the higher and higher packages. So we got rid of that. I do the
What's the best 3 softwares that your business is using right now?
ChatGPT, the paid $20 version of fucking ChatGPT.
Do you buy this for all your employees or just for everyone is sharing?
So I used it for myself now, and now all my employees. Now that we rolled out the AIs for all for our clients, my coaches need to have the premium version because they need to help the clients sometimes. That's basically it. The second one, I would almost say Alaware. We use it for auto dialing.
For the calls, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that makes us the most money.
Interesting. Why do you use that? You use it because they have the feature with the that I know Alaware because I use it as well.
Yeah,
but I bought it because it had a feature where if you call someone, it calls from the local.
Yeah, exactly. That's
that was localization. I don't remember what the feature
especially
is.
In the States.
Yeah,
it calls from your state.
Yeah.
That plus you can text.
Okay. And the third one?
Let me think.
So you said Close CRM, you said ChatGPT, Alaware. Okay, you already told me.
Yeah, I didn't say Close is the best one. I said the most expensive one was replaced with Close. But I mean, obviously Close is pretty fucking important because it's our CRM. I'm just thinking if there's anything that's more important. We're doing a lot with Opus now. We're repurposing all our long-form content with Opus. Yeah, we've gotten the first videos got viral from Opus, like random videos that nobody touched just went fucking viral. Let me think. There might be something super.
So wait a minute. So you are using right now Opus for podcast editing?
No. So podcast editing is still done by a human. And getting value nuggets out of the podcast is also still done by a human. But we also give the podcast to Opus and just basically say, go nuts, have fun, and then publish it on slave accounts. It was actually one of the pieces of advice that Tai Lopez gave me for the $100K that I paid him. He's like, you should have a bunch of slave accounts. Slave accounts are like random accounts where you're just reposting shit that most of the time is edited by AI. So we have Max Tornow clips, Max Tornow TV. These are all just random fucking clips.
Which you don't care, basically.
Exactly. It's just Opus AI bullshit. Sometimes it has one like, sometimes it goes viral.
Wow.
You just post there, whatever it comes out.
We just give it, whatever, have fun. Like, minimal editing. I think it throws out like 30 clips per podcast. And then one guy looks through them and then takes the 10 best ones.
Does it go through the publishing Opus or
no? You have to it does it semi-automatically. You link all your accounts to it, and then you basically say, okay, here's the long form video. Then it spits out the 30 reels for you, or however many videos, and then you say this. Post on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Facebook, and so forth. You press a button, and then it schedules it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, but that doesn't really move the needle. I haven't made any money from the random Opus clips. It's a long form,
but it's branding though.
Yeah, it's a long form. Like if you do this for like 5 years or 3 years, it stacks up. I don't think there's any other really crazy epic software.
What else did Tai Lopez give you advice?
Are we allowed to say about Tai Lopez?
Yeah.
Say something.
I had it in a video that I paid him $100K.
Yeah, what is the biggest takeaway from Tai Lopez?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I wanted, that's also why I wanted to buy from him, was I was not sure how I want to brand myself, because I'm not just a regular business consultant that is like, just try to make money.
How did this happen though? I mean, I know that you know Tai Lopez, but how did it cross in your mind? Okay, let me spend some money on this guy.
Yeah, I've met Tai a couple times. I told you guys earlier, I met him when he had like 1,000 subscribers. I was shooting this one video. So I kind of knew him before he blew up. And then he did blow up, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I always ran into him a couple times when he was hanging out with RSD. And then I said, I'm looking at my stories because I'm still following him, and he's in Helsinki, and I was in Helsinki at the same time. And he's like, oh, I'm in Helsinki, mastermind. I'm like, cool. How much is the mastermind? $500. I'm like, fuck it. It's tomorrow. I'll buy it. So I went to I didn't expect anything. $500 mastermind. I knew it's going to be bullshit, right? So I go there. I go to the hotel, and I'm in the elevator, and there was like 6 dudes in the elevator. And I'm like, you guys here for the Tai Lopez thing? And they're like, yeah. And then one guy's like, I've seen your ads. And then everybody else is like, oh yeah, me too. So I'm like, motherfucker, you guys are exactly in the target audience. And then we go there, and then Tai comes in after like 3 hours. Like some of his staff were talking before. And then he talks, and I'm like, okay, of course he's going to pitch, right? He asks basically everyone how much money they're making, and the top 2-3 guys that are making the most.
Was Max?
He's like telling his team, and then the team would reach out to these 3 guys and then invite them to hang out. So I was not dumb. I was like, of course they're going to reach out to me, which they did. And then of course they say I'm going to hang out. And then of course when I hang out, they would tell me I should join the one-on-one. So I talked to a bunch of people before that are already in the one-on-one. For example, Nicolas Pere, he's been one-on-one many times with him. And I'm like, how is it? And he's like, honestly, it's actually really good. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's worth it. And then for me specifically, I knew I'm not going to hire him as a mentor for like small detailed things, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna like, how does your CRM work or whatever? What's your sales like, you know what I mean? That's not, he doesn't fucking know this in his own company, unlikely. He has staff that does this for him. So I'm like, what is the most valuable thing I could get from a guy like him? And that is just personal branding, because that clearly is the thing that he does himself, and that clearly is the thing that he's best at. So my main question for him was basically like, look, Tai, I have this dating coaching thing that I had in the past. It made me a ton of fucking money. It was me traveling around the world teaching guys how to be confident and how to get girls. Plus I have all these tattoos. Look at me, I'm not a regular consultant, you know, like you could be a perfect consultant, a good looking, handsome guy, glasses, you know what I mean? But I'm like, that train left a while ago for me. So I was really scared for years, even after making all this money.
Wait a minute, do you regret that you have all these tattoos?
No, not really.
But if you had to bring the time back, will you have them or not?
Did I have to what?
If you had to bring the time back, like, will you
remove them? If I could rewind? No, fuck
no.
I love these tattoos. They're mine. But the thing was like, I'm like, how much should I talk about my first business as a dating coach? How much should I leverage the fact that I have tattoos? Should I show them more, or should I try to cover them with long sleeve shirts, you know? Because a lot of my audience are women, middle-aged women, like the complete opposite of what my audience used to be. So maybe they're like, oh, this guy has tattoos. This is strange. I'm not going to give him my money. Oh, he used to do dating. This is strange too. I don't like this. And I'm like, Tai, I really want to know this. And literally like within a second, he's like, dude, that's the best thing about you. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you should talk about dating all the time and link it to business. That's what makes you special. That's why I've doubled down on that. And then I asked him, what about the tattoos? Do you think I could convert better from my VSL if I didn't have tattoos? Maybe hire an actor, right? And have someone else make the VSLs. He's like, no, your tattoos are fantastic. You know why? And this is pretty smart what he said. He said, because people stare at them, right? They're like, what the fuck? Like, what is this fucking tattoo? And when they stare, your fucking watch rate is higher. And when the watch rate is higher, it converts better. So he's like, bro, your tattoos are the best shit ever.
Do you know Andrew Huberman?
He's right.
I'm sure you know Andrew Huberman.
Yeah,
right?
I love
Everyone knows it.
Yeah.
So someone asked him, hey, why do you wear a black shirt in every podcast? Obviously. I mean, you know that, right? Every podcast you see him.
Yeah,
he's
long
like,
sleeve black shirt, yeah.
And it's because of this reason, because he also has tattoos, by the way.
Oh,
and he wants to hide everything. And because he believes that every time he talks, They want people to listen to him for what he's saying and not for what he looks like.
Love it.
Which this is obviously, it's a different approach.
Yeah. I mean, he's a Stanford doctor and everything like that. I'm not a Stanford doctor. I'm just a dude who made a lot of money and who has a lot of clients who made a lot of money. So I get it. Because he talks about very sensitive topics like sleep, sex drive, hormones, nutrition, right? Brains. If you have some random tattoo guy, there's like, you know what I mean? Like alcohol is good, or some random shit is like, you should eat more meat. They'd be like, fuck off, right? So of course I get it. He needs to look like more like an old school professor. Yeah, I get that. But yeah, that was I think the biggest lesson for Tai. Plus, one thing that
you needed Tai though to tell you that.
What do you mean?
Like for 100K?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest right now.
Yeah, look, that was not the only thing. So the other thing that I said when he sold me, he's like, you should be my one-on-one client. And I'm like, I'll become your one-on-one client if you're going to be on my podcast.
Okay. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
I saw
Now we're talking.
Exactly. Because his podcast alone, he doesn't go podcast for free. It costs like $30K or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And he's like, sure, let's do it tomorrow. And I'm like, actually, I was going to think about doing it in LA when I'm there. And he's like, no, let's do it tomorrow. I'm like, fuck yeah, okay, let's do it. So we did the podcast. I asked him one question.
I watched it, by the
way. He rambled for 2
hours.
I knew, but I was smart about it because I've collaborated a lot with Owen Cook. And Owen Cook is just exactly like him. He's just exactly like me. We are able to absolutely hold someone's attention by ourselves for hours. So we're not used to collaborating with others. So every time I collabed with Owen, I knew if I want people to hear something from me, I have to just interrupt him. Otherwise, he's just going to go.
I noticed that today. Like, if I don't interrupt Max, that's it. He's talking for hours. Okay, let me still on his traffic. That's it.
So that's what I did with Tai.
You're the start of the show.
You have said like 2 sentences. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
No.
But that's
I don't like to interrupt people. I don't like to interrupt people while they are talking. That's why. But I realize, fine, if I don't interrupt this guy, he's not gonna share half.
That's why I told you we gotta do at least 2 hours, man. I'm like, no way, I'm gonna do 1 hour. That's one question, bro. Yeah. No, I interrupted Tai the whole time.
He came to your podcast. Obviously, I watched that podcast, by the way. Amazing podcast.
Yeah.
And what else did you learn from Tai?
So. Funny enough, if you look at Tai's content, it's like the most fluff content in the world, right? It's like today we're going to talk about how to make money, and then 50 minutes later he talked about tons of other shit, and then eventually you didn't really learn anything, right? It's like you heard about the Amish and his mentors and the fucking books, and what Abraham Lincoln and whatnot. So I was like, okay. When they told me I should meet him in person, that was just before I bought from him. Because they were like, okay, Tai wants to talk to you, give you some value to that. I'm like, okay, if the shit that he will tell me in person before I buy from him is like his content, I'm not going to buy. Right? If he's just going to be like, I bought a farm and Joel Salatin, my mentor. I'm like, fuck, I'm not going to fucking pay for this, okay? Like, if I want to be entertained, I'll watch some other shit. But then I'm there, and Tai's like, what's your numbers? What's your YouTube? Pull up YouTube studios.
So it was pure value,
yeah,
basically.
He would like look at the stats. He was like,
interesting.
He's like, oh, your audience is so and so much male, so and so much female, this age, you should talk about this. How much are you spending here? What are your ads looking like? How many ads are you shooting per month? I'm like, I've never seen you talk about something specific without getting distracted about 50 other things ever. He was like super on point. And I'm like, that's actually really fucking valuable. And then when I talked to Nicolas Pérez as well, I asked him specifically, Nicolas, okay, so part of the one-on-one is you get one call with Tai per month. And I asked him specifically, what do these calls look like? Are they 30 minutes? And then he says he's got to go. And are they fucking rambly? And he said, no, they're supposed to be 45 minutes, but Tai with me, at least, that's what Nicolas told me, sometimes he went 2 hours. So I'm like, So those were the 2 criteria, is that 1, he takes his time if necessary, and 2, when he does give me value, it's fucking on point. And he doesn't change thousands of topics.
So is it 1 year?
I think it's one year, 1 year or 6 months, I can't remember.
And you have at least 1 call per month?
1 call per month.
1-to-1.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like with these calls, I have to say for me, this is not me endorsing. He didn't pay me or tell me to say this. It's just my honest opinion, right? If you're just some fucking guy that makes 100K a month, don't buy from him. It's not going to be value. But if you're at a level where you're making not 10 million yet, but you're kind of at 3 to 5 million a year, that's exactly where I think he has the biggest value. So what was I going to say? So yeah, the calls are super on point. They're like, I'm the one who wraps up the calls, not him. It's not him saying, I got to go. He's literally on these calls. He's like, what else? What other question do you have? And I'm like, I have no other question, dude. He's like, what else? Like, I'm here. Let's
Did you also mean the other people that are in the same program?
I can if I want to, yeah.
But you know
the other
you
people
just know
in the
about
program?
Nicholas, yeah?
No, those, yeah. Those I can hang out all the time. Cause that's part of the one-on-one as well. Like you can go to whatever 3 parties or some shit like that.
His villa, he does.
Yeah. I went to one in LA. It sucked. I don't know. It was literally like 99% dudes. And it was funny because it was the first party I was on where nobody cared about the girls. It was literally like a handful of attractive girls. Everybody ignored them because all the guys were just networking with each other.
Exactly.
Oh man, we should do an Instagram collab and podcast. And the girls were like bored in the corner somewhere.
I saw you when you were like taking interviews from everybody.
Yeah,
and
it was sick.
Sick, man.
Yeah, and that's where I met Tyler again. Also after all the years, so beautiful.
Tyler,
Owen, RSD Tyler, Owen Cook. Because I haven't met him since I left RSD.
You still have a good relationship with those guys?
Now, yes.
What is he doing now? Is he still
Yeah, what are
He's
they
still
doing
crush-
now?
Dude, his stuff is so good.
Really?
Dude, I hadn't watched Owen's content for like many years. And then I think last year I started watching again. I'm like, holy fuck.
What type of content are we talking about?
The same
The
kind
same?
of content, just way deeper and way like I actually think if I would watch his content like 10 years ago, it would go over my head. I wouldn't get it. But at my, again, without tooting my own horn, but like for you guys and for me at our level, you would watch Owen's content, you're like, holy fuck, this is mind blowing. Dude, he's talking about the Bible now and shit like that. He's like reading out of the Bible. But I'm not super into that Bible, but I'm like...
But if you hear it from Owen, because he knows how to talk...
You're like, fuck, this is sick. He talks about such high-level concepts in spirituality and business and communication. That's what I told him. That was the first thing I told him after
they
I saw
don't do
him.
the dating stuff anymore. Or they
still
still
a
do
little
it
bit,
because
but-
is this the core of the business?
Exactly, but they don't do it as obvious anymore. It's more like about socializing and networking, kind of like that. And I told him that, I'm like, oh, and I'm not just saying this, but your content is amazing.
No, because I believe also the majority of audience in the dating maybe is people maybe under 25 that they also don't have money, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I mean, let's be realistic. Most people over 27, they're usually married, like they're settled, like they don't care about this stuff anymore.
Good point.
So maybe that's also why this niche, maybe there is a limit on how far it can go, right? I mean, I don't know the insights, you know better than me, because you used to do it. But I also believe that if you were about to continue what you used to do, I believe right now for sure you will have 2 million subscribers on YouTube. But
100%.
that doesn't necessarily mean that you will make the same money like you do right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you know a lot of people with 1, 2, 3 million subscribers.
You outgrow the niche to both with your own age as well as with a certain size. I know dating coaches. I have many dating coaches in my programs that are making 100K plus a month. So that's still pretty fucking good. I have beginner clients that charge 12K per client. They just focus on like 40-year-old divorced guys that want to get a younger wife again.
What's your vision in like 5 to 10 years? I mean, do you still want to continue what you do right now?
Yes.
Or do you have something else in your mind that you want to do in the future that you believe is going to make you more money?
So, no, I think there's always going to be something. I'm a teacher. I've always been a teacher. And if I wouldn't teach somebody for money, I would maybe just like teach my kids or some private mentor dude. Maybe I have like shares in a company or something like that. So I'll always do that. It could be that my expertise changes. It's changed before. I went from dating to business. And when it changed, it didn't fully change because I took a lot of lessons on psychology from the dating and I extrapolated on the marketing. So I think I can always take what I've done before and use that to make the new thing even better. So for example, now with AI, is I use a lot of the knowledge from business and structures and procedures for the AI, for the content creation. So I think I'll always teach something. Goal-wise, like I said, I don't have a specific goal. Milestone, $1 million a month, 20 million a year, 50 million a year.
Did you ever do 1 million a month or no?
No, we got close
done.
with it. We got close with it, and then we had to figure cold traffic out again. But now,
you know what's the problem? It's not just to do this one time. If you do this for 1 month, and then what's about the second time?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
That's why I think with cold traffic, it's the easiest to stay consistent, because with organic, you're always kind of reliant on the algorithm, because sometimes maybe 1 month one of your pieces of content goes viral, and you got a lot of lead flow, you crack 1 million a month. But with paid advertising, it's like you spend this much money, you're gonna have at least this minimum ROAS on it. So I think with paid advertising, you're more likely to be stable at 1 million a month plus.
What's your number one social media platform right now for paid ads?
We do Facebook.
Facebook is your... Wait a minute. Facebook
ads. Meta ads.
Meta ads, it's Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
We do Facebook
ads. So Facebook is the number one source of traffic
by far,
and customers that you have right now.
Yeah, for paid advertising, yes. For organic, it's
Instagram. Not Facebook.
Facebook, not Meta. Yeah, and for organic, it's Instagram. Plus LinkedIn. I'm going super crazy. LinkedIn is my favorite platform right now.
LinkedIn?
Yeah, LinkedIn. You have the highest average buying power ever. It's insane, dude. There's almost no brokies there. I've talked to Lara Acosta, Darren Lee, two good friends of mine, especially Lara. She just grew to 200K followers on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is getting huge.
So what do you do there on LinkedIn?
You just post, text posts, and videos now as well.
And you also send friend requests, and you do outreaching and chatting.
How you do that?
You can. I don't do it because I don't give a fuck. I'm not there to pitch anyone. I'm just growing it.
Who does it for you?
But theoretically, it's you post once a day, you comment on a lot of stuff, so you get eyeballs on there, and then you send out 20 to 40 message requests per day.
You do that yourself, or you have somebody do it?
I post with AI. I go on it 15 minutes in the morning.
Posts, okay.
The posts, yeah. And again, I don't do the outreach stuff because I'm like, fuck it.
Okay, listen to me. I'm gonna get you to 1 million a month, but I'm not gonna mention this right now in the podcast.
All right.
When after dinner, I will tell you what you have to do.
Fuck yeah!
And if
tell
you
me
do
now.
it,
Why? Everybody watching this, they're like,
we're over 2 hours.
No.
How? Wait,
Next
what?
one.
Really?
Next
When
one.
did we start?
Next one.
Have we done 2 hours?
Over 2 hours?
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Let's make 4, man. Fuck it. Okay,
Listen, I have a crazy proposal to you,
bro.
which
I'm so
make
down.
you, but I'm not gonna do it right now on the podcast. Obviously, I don't want. I want first to propose this to you. If you tell me, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Then I'm telling you that you're gonna go to 1 million a month, and you don't care about this
And you will not
anymore.
spend 100K like you spend with
Yeah.
Tai Lopez.
Actually, you will spend zero. Zero. I'm telling you,
people listening
zero.
to this are so mad right now that they don't know what it is.
Listen, if we make this happen, I don't know if my brother knows what I have in my mind,
I think I know what you have in mind. I will tell you
but
later.
if we make this happen, I promise you that you will get there. But it's not just about the money, it's about the people that you're going to help.
Fuck yeah. Well, talk about a win-win.
Hey, let's close it.
Yeah.
Last 2 minutes. Go on.
Wait a minute. What is your advice to people that, let's say, they want to start an online business and but they're scared to do it? And I mean, what is your advice? Like, where do they start, or what will you do if you were in their position?
I'm gonna tell you the following. Of course you're scared to do it because you've never fucking done it. It's completely, utterly normal, right? I remember when I was a kid and my mom would bring me to soccer practice. I really wanted to play soccer. I was scared because it was unknown, right? Like, who are the people going to be there? Like, what are the locker rooms going to look like? What if I don't hit the ball? Of course I'm scared because I've never done it. So a lot of people see that and they're like, okay, well, let me get ready first. I'm not ready. I need to feel ready before I do it. But then I always think back about the times on how I built my first business, how I just was winging it. I was scared shitless of the first time when this guy reached out to me and said, do you do coaching? I'm like, I'm just going to lie. Scared. Before I met him, I was scared. Like, what if I'm not worth 130, 150 euros? Then when I did my first speech back then with RSD, the first big speech that I did with 200 people, it was Julian, one of the people that I was supposed to assist. He said, do you want to hop on stage before me, in front of all these people? I was scared shitless. I was talking to 200 people all of a sudden. And there were not people in Vienna. There were complete strangers in a different country. When I pitched my first time a high-ticket product for $2,000, I was scared shitless. First YouTube video, I was scared shitless. When I was about to meet my girlfriend for the first time, who's now with me for over 8 years, I was scared shitless. You know what else I'm going to be scared shitless? When I propose to her.
Did you propose?
No, but when I do, I will be fucking scared shitless, you know? On my wedding, I'll be scared shitless. When my first daughter or son is born, I'll be scared shitless. When I built my second business, I was scared shitless. I'm scared shitless of everything. That's not the problem. The problem is when you allow that as an excuse to not do things. Don't get me wrong. Please don't ever, for you listening to this, don't ever think that, well, Xenios and Sergio or Max, they never feel bad. They never feel inferior. They never feel scared. We feel all that all the time, probably even more than the average person, but we do things anyways. And this is key not only when you want to start a business, this is key when you want to talk to that girl, you want to sell that thing, you want to start that business, you want to go on that trip, you want to improve your life, you want to sign up for the gym, you want to go do fucking bench press for the first time, even though you've never done it and you're worried that the guys in the gym are going to look at you weirdly. It's always fucking scary. But remember the times where you weren't scared, where you were a little child. You have to bring that naivety back. Because this life, this world is fucking beautiful. It has everything for you. It has the best food, the best people. You can find the love of your life. You can find your soulmate. You can find your brothers, your sisters, your best friends, the best businesses. You can make all the money in the world. You can make infinite amount of money. You can drive the best cars. You can jump out of a fucking plane and parachute. You can do anything in this world. It's the best place ever. It's a fucking paradise. It's a playground, but you can only play on it when you allow yourself to be scared and you go ahead and you do it anyways.
Okay, and close this video by telling us what is one thing that you did this year that you were scared to do it, but you did it anyway, and, and you enjoyed it. Honestly, one thing only.
So many things. Racing on the Nürburgring. I've done sim racing for many, many years. I love fast cars. I've been watching Formula 1 for many, many years. And then my friend said, why don't you come to the Nürburgring and I'll show you how to race. He has a racing license.
I've seen that with Golf.
We've had a tuned Golf GT. We were surrounded by Porsche GT3 RSs. And you're just flooring it and you're flying. And the crazy thing about the Nürburgring is it goes up and down.
Did you get scared?
So scared.
Wait, you were driving or someone else was driving?
I was driving.
Oh my God.
For the other person, I trust them. For me, and my friend was like, you can go full speed now. And I'm like, are you sure?
No
He's
limit.
like, don't worry. Like the tires are warmed up. And you go into the corner and it's like...
Yeah, the handling of the car.
Yeah,
it's
amazing.
And imagine when you jump from that car to a Porsche GT3 RS. I mean, you will see a difference on another level, how it's handling.
It's my dream car.
Max Tornow, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys
for coming.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I wish we had cameras that could last for 6 hours. But we don't.
Next time.
Next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.